Okay, people, how we doing out there? First things first, my name's Kenneth Bird. My company is ILEG Technology Screens. Technology we're testing out is ILE, Infusion Light Energy Visual Tech TV projector screens. It's a projection screen we're designing, what screen that reacts like a TV. That's what we're working on right now. So I'm doing some testing on the more transparent front and rear technology. Pulling it off 50 and 300 lumens. Get an idea of what the screen is telling me. Correctly. Where for microphones? We're looked up here, over here. That microphone, this thing's been acting up the last couple of days. Are we on mics on here? We are on mics on here. Huh, microphone's definitely weird. There's some problems with the mic. I'm going to have to probably reset my computer after this video. See what's going on. Mic's giving me issues. Mics are giving me horrible issues. You are definitely on. Nope, mics aren't working for some reason. Not just the new ones. At least for quite some time. I had this microphone system for at least roughly probably 7-8 years. Let's reset the page. Now we'll go through keyboard and mouse. I have to get more microphones in. Nope, this ain't reading for jack. Technology. Oh. Duh. That'd be a major duh right there for me. Or wrong PC. Definitely wrong PC. Alright, what are we disconnecting here to run what? What we got connected here? We got projector running on this side, so we can disconnect projector from here. I can charge it over here. I got penny ports on this side. We need microphones on this side. Wrong PC. Definitely wrong PC. Alright, now we should be cooking the gas. Hopefully it works. There we go. Let's see. Liquid screensaver. Oh, now we're running perfectly. That's such an issue on that. Now, if you're seeing bright glares, the screen's not hotspotting. What's going on is the screen is actually generating a ton of light that the camera's having a very difficult time trying to read off of, because these things react just like TVs. They're super bright, and they can operate at 300 lumens and generate a ton of white light. You have to see them in person to see what they look like. Those cameras don't read on them. I had several people in here trying to pick up on a camera or anything, and they just were having all kinds of problems. That screen generates that much light. At 300 lumens. This is 50 on this side over here. And they have to. They're going to compete with TVs that have LED systems built into them. They have to generate that high. Doing it with 4,000, 5,000 projectors is completely useless. Because again, number one, it can be an expensive projector to get, even though you can get them used, but still 4,000, 5,000, that's This is really not going to cut it when you're talking about a real true ambient light rejection technology. She really easily do it at 300 to 50 with no problem. Let's go do the halo system. This is going to be blinding. Be as close to 6K of light. Glasses on for this one. Light for this one. Interesting thing about this is you will see the image from here. No problem. We'll pick up 50 lumen, and then right there, QME 300 lumens. It can read at 180-degree viewing angle, which is actually, when it comes to screens this clear, it's very difficult for the screen to hit at this angle because there's nothing to land on. Very little. Angle gain actually produces better when screens are much darker. This stuff is a little more interesting. This is the one we had outside at 50 lumens that took the sunlight. This is the surface. We got a smaller surface of it over there. What I want to build is, I want to build these luxury screens that are transparent. I'm building one for myself that you can have objects on either side. You can see those objects, but when the image passes over it, the object disappears, as we're working on. They're fully transparent. We'll pick up on angles on both sides. No problem. The stuff I'm doing right now is testing. It gives me information on what I need to see. That's why I build these contraptions to basically put the screens and get an understanding about what we're working with. Because out of all the technology I've been engineered, this is one of the most interesting ones I've ever seen. So now we've got to take our time with this one. We got to figure out so many things this thing can do. I want to find out everything that it's capable of doing. Interesting on the side, those are the boxes on this side of the screen. That's the light on the side. Let me see something here. 50 lumens. 6K video lights. We have the lights behind the back of the screen, so the light has to push through the screen, which makes it much more harder and difficult for a rear and front projection screen to operate, because most times people keep it dark in the back. There's really the halo system there. Okay. That's Blue Technology under AdTech. A little different stuff within the day. It's darker than that screen. You can read the light no problem, but it's much darker than that screen. My screen's much lighter. So what does this tell me at the end of the day? This gives me information letting me know exactly what type of projector we can use on different types of screens. That's the information I get from it. That's why you can't go on a screen and say, well, it does so and so. You have to know what is the lumen count requirement for that screen to trigger. You can't just guess it. Most people guess high. If you guess high, then pretty much you should be in a good field of what's going to run. If you okay, 5,000 lumens, you know 5,000 lumen projector is going to run just about anything. They can't drop any lower than that because they don't know if there's going to be a risk of the screen not actually functioning. But you have to know minimum, bare minimum, what your screen can see. This is why most people will hit the range of 2,000. 2,000 is safe. It's a safe number. That's why when I see screen paints requesting 2,000, 2,200, those are safe numbers. Now, if you're talking about 1,000 lumens, you're talking about 1,000 lumens where? You're talking about fully lit environment at 1,000 lumens. How many feet are you talking about at a distance at 1,000 lumens? Like 13 feet, 18 feet. As far as we got back, and I have it documented, is around 25, which is actually the same length the paint measure was. We were able to max out a paint measure at around 25 feet back, passing through 2 rooms of light and striking the screen. The lower the lumens on the projector, the farther the distance, the better the image. The interesting thing about Pico projectors are a different class of projectors, just like ultra short. The Picos are different. Picos, and what I don't understand is when people advertise Pico projectors, they'll say, hey, you get a 150-inch screen. You're not getting a 150-inch screen out of a Pico. It ain't going to happen. That's one special Pico at the end of the day. It automatically deteriorates as you start to pull away from the screen. Doesn't make a difference if the screen is lighter or darker, you're going to have issues with it. That's why they do them in the dark. Because the farther back you're at 300 lumens, mind you, you're going to be traveling roughly to do a 100-inch screen, you're going to be 11 to 12 feet from your screen. At 11 to 12 feet from your screen in well-lit environment, that means your lumen count is going to be left with nothing by the time it makes contact with the screen. So that's why it's not going to work. That's why if you're going to be doing a distance throw, you have to know the caliber of lumens and how far your projector has to be back in order to maintain an image to go from A to B. Even if you're able to maintain, let's say, at 1,000 lumens, you're able to travel from A to B, your screen's still going to have an issue picking up color and contrast at the exact same time. That's the problem you're going to run into. Now, I find that people who do demonstrations find what I say quite complicated, but this is what you should be explaining in your video demonstrations when you're showing off your screen. You should be able to actually explain that. You can't explain it because you do not know what you're doing. So if you're saying that 300 lumens or 50 lumens, you're going to acquire 100 thickness, bullcrap. If you do it on a white or gray screen, you don't have the contrast levels within these units in order to give you a more refined definition picture, a sharper, more detailed image. You don't have it. because your contrast level is extremely low and the screen can't make up for it because it's light. But keep in mind that with a projector 1000 lumens has a better chance of reaching distance and actually pulling up an image, but it depends if you're in a fully lit environment, your screen's still going to fail. As I showed you in a demonstration, so no one can sit there and say that out of a Pico projector you're going to get this giant image. You can't get that, it's not going to work. You're going to have to be in a dark environment to get that trigger. Let's have to go from here. So that's how that one works. Let me see, where do I go from here? Give me another flame. So that's working quite nicely. Okay, let me see. Let's take out the Halo system. Halo system. Let's see how it reacts. Take the invisible off. Well, you got a long commercial in that one. Way too much time on that one. I'll take the butterflies. There we go. Give me an idea what I'm getting here. So that's what comes off from that. Usually Pico projectors, I'd say you'd be safe for the screen size of maybe 60 inches on down. That you'd be safe with that. But your image is definitely going to deteriorate because number one, you don't even have the pixel count on one of these things in order to be able to generate a proper image at a distance, especially if you're going to be using it in a somewhat lit environment. It's just not going to work. So I see people with these little Pico projectors thinking they're going to get these masks. You're not getting that. See the lens on these things? They're tiny. You're not getting that at the end of the day. You have to be in a pitch black, dark environment in order to try to get somewhat of a decent image out of it. So that eliminates ambient projection technology altogether. You won't be able to use it. So projectors like this are not being used to be in fully lit environments. But I do like how the clear screen comes up on them, so I do like that. Now, let's get this together real quick, real fast, so we can get an understanding here, because again, I don't mean to be quite rude when I explain this, but please understand this, that when I talk on this camera, for those of you who like to do pop-ins and outs, we're not speaking to you. My videos go everywhere. These videos get uplinked in different places. So when I speak, I'm speaking to everybody. People that are going to be watching this later on, people are going to be feeding off my Google, because I actually have a Google page where basically all my videos land at, and we basically broadcast them anywhere they need to go. On my Facebook accounts, I'm in multiple social sites. I'm actually building a social site as we speak. I'm actually designing and building a server for it. Might as well. I build these machines and stuff like that and everything else. Might as well build my own servers. So yeah, it's sort of stuff can be broadcasted everywhere. But I don't know why. We deal with some adolescents. My channel's not set up for teenagers, but we do deal with some adolescents. I feel at the end of the day that when I speak, we already know who you are. We know from the door who you are when you come in. But just so you know that we know that you don't have the attention span to understand certain things that I speak. So that's why you do that little reaction right there. It's sad. Maybe you'll learn something one day in life. It's not the field for you. If you can't understand what I'm saying, you can't go to any forum sites. Because all forum sites talk this language at the end of the day. And you find what I say intimidating because you don't understand it. And that's why you need to crack books and learn. Till then, technology I'm reading from here, I've got investors already tied into my company, my business. Technology is going to make a ton of money. So my main goal when I come on here is to basically just show what the technology is trying to do, educate people on what it's going to be about, what's going to be happening, what we're going to have available, what different sizes, what countries we'll be able to ship them to, which hoping to get everybody at the end of the day. So right now I'm working with shipping carriers on which one can give us a better deal on shipping as soon as they need to go. That's what we're thinking about. And if you want to waste your time popping that, you knock yourself out. We really don't care. Please. Adolescent kids, I'm used to this. When I see that kind of reaction, we see kids. We don't see you as adults. If that's what it takes to get you through your day, to make you feel like you're doing something productive, knock yourself out. All right, till then, I can read my text crystal clear here. That's one of the things I was asked about is text. Right there. I'm just on text there. And for those people that would chime into my channel, we do ask questions at the end of the day that are interested in the technology. Unlike the people who do dumb stuff at the end of the day regularly, we know what your screens look like. They're absolutely horrible. They look nothing like our technology. So for those, we are figuring out the flex. The flex is complicated because screen size. It can't be too big. If it's too big, it's not portable. It can't be too small because each projector is designed different. Where these, for some reason, have a short though lens, and these don't. These have to be farther back. So a 12 by 12 wouldn't be big enough for a Cumi. It just wouldn't be. It wouldn't be the fit. The focus comes up nice, but not clear enough. It could be much better if the projector was farther back. I had to test this projector at a more of a distance. If it's too far, image deteriorates. If it's too close, the image blurs. There's a sweet spot in there. So we have to figure out the size of the sweet spot of the screen we can sell under that projector. And that's when I'm working with the Cumi. The Cumi is an interesting projector. I guess they feel it to break my concentration. You do know that I can basically build things in my head. I'm building stuff right now in my head. When I'm having a conversation, when you see me pop on with something new, that means I've actually engineered a new formula in my head while I'm having a conversation with you. I'm building stuff in my head. You never distract my concentration, ever. You think for a minute that little things that no. My brain functions on a different level. I can deal with what I got to deal with here and there and build at the exact same time. The brain doesn't work on one channel. It works on multiple channels. I multitask all the time. Right now, I've got 4 formulas. There's 4 ad techs underneath this desk right now. 4 of them. They're colored. I'll be ready to go pretty soon to show them off. And the timeline that it takes a person to come into my channel and do something stupid, dumb stuff. At that particular time, I've already built the technology that's going to make me more money. I designed all different screens, frames, different type of projectors you can use and utilize. I'm actually even building a couple of customized gaming tables. And the time it takes you to waste time on this planet doing absolutely nothing, I'm already building, already designing, already creating, already engineering for next stages. That technology goes all the way into 2030. 2030? Yeah, 2030. Technology to 2030. We got technology goes that far back. All ready to go. Meanwhile, you're doing that. That's why I don't take you seriously. Would you sit there and have an intellectual conversation with a 3-year-old? No, you wouldn't. Why? Their brain's not developed enough in order to have a conversation with you. It'd be completely pointless. They'll be talking about doodle heads and coloring books, and they can't land on your level. That's how I think of you. Now, it's not to be rude or anything. It's what you put out. What you put out is what you get. So if I ask you questions, I go to your site, I ask you questions about your product that you basically wrote into your website. I'm asking you questions, and you can't respond back to me. You just let me know at the end of the day. Your brain's not cut for it. You don't even know what you're doing. Now you sit there and say, am I calling you stupid? You figure it out. I'm about to show up at Sugar Plum Fairy pretty soon. That reminds me, I built the site for that thing. Yeah, we got a Sugar Plum Fairy about to show up pretty soon. Sugar Plum Fairy. Boom, 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 boom. Actually, there's several of them. There's one called, I gotta go into the site and pull these up. I gotta go to my website and pull them up. Be fair, which one's really making? Let's see. Actually, we can just abracadabra. I'm gonna reach out and grab you. Now let's check the PC. I got another computer to build. Got the Fallout. There we are. Printing out labels, orders. Orders went through for the Exquisite Dark Silver. They actually work for the Valve on Cumi. What is it? Cumi projector? No, Valve projectors. Actually, Cumi is Vivitech. People ask me what that, but it's Vivitech. All right, let me see. This is all done. These orders already went out. Let me turn to the side. Make sure we got no customers' information popping up. Get that all taken care of. I need to go to my site. There we go. Website. Pull up my screens. See, all that fussing and complaining about the quantum. You know, we got like 10 screens we're about to build. You might want to catch up. You're far behind. Let's show you what we have here. So, on our far end, oh, we got to build another screen for the whatchamacallit. We had to get rid of Leviathan. So we got another screen. I think I'm gonna pull for that. I might pull a Poseidon. Oh, Poseidon would be banging. I know exactly what color we can make that too. What is going on over here? Whole full commercial going on. Jeez. Let me see. Give me some pretty stars. There we go. Bum, 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 on this side. Let's see. We have bum 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 bum. Where's the girl gamers at? This is the girls gamer. So that's a whole new technology right there. It's a whole new section of the site. It was built years ago for technology we have now. There's another section there too, but it's hidden. It's a legendary technology. The Omegas. They're being engineered and developed. That's why I told you never catch up. Ever. Let's go pop inside. So this was a whole page, our showroom designed. There's right there. Pretty soon you're going to see what one looks like. And they're insane. They look absolutely incredible. Oh, there's a lot in there. A lot of screens in there. Now, at first, we're going to make these screens glass because the transfer rate for the technology need to be in glass. It's the first ones that we developed are on glass. This new technology we have, on the other hand, is quite different, which means that we can coat it onto plastic, fiberglass, whatever, which makes it much more cheaper and much more affordable, especially for the customers. And the shipping cost for shipping a glass screen is very expensive. This makes it much easier. So if you thought the black screens made a gray screen look awkward, wait till you see what color ones do. And pretty soon, this is going to have videos attached to it showing the new technology. You ever seen this page? It's freaking whimsical in there. I have people come here just to sit and relax. I'm going to be updated with some new stuff in here too. Some new graphics, some 3D effects, stuff like that. Has its own music to it. I gotta get around adding music to the other page too. We got this other page called Retro Rage. Yeah, it's all gaming technology we're working on. Now, see, when you sit there and you say nasty things on your websites, we don't have anymore. But when you say nasty things on your website about my company, and they will come over and see stuff like this. There you go. Thank you for the business, by the way. I appreciate it. Much appreciation. You might want to advertise this page for me. I need some more advertising for it. This is a fairy tale world we built for the Sugar Plum Fairy. Page is absolutely gorgeous. Got some flowers blossoming. And we see we have here new white heightener technology. Oh, beautiful, absolutely beautiful page. Now, this is another form of technology we're engineering. Oh, it's a gamer. These are all girl gamer screens. This right here is FLE. Oh, that's got to go. Definitely labeled. That's ILEG now technology. And this is, oh, Black Series. This is all got to come out. We'll upgrade tomorrow. Page has to be redone because we're getting ready to show these off. Let me see. It's a black unicorn. Whimsical. That's a whimsical black unicorn. I think that's what it is. That's the page for this one. And this is what I'm pretty much going to like. FLE, which we got to change that now to ILE. ILEG, which is Infusion Light Energy. This is Extreme Pink Widow. These are some gorgeous screens in the day. And yes, they're color coded. Every single one of them. I find it interesting that you guys going to make these screens too, by the way? I'm curious. Are you going to make these? Don't let me down. Got quite a lot to go through. So that's the ones we have for the girls. 1, 2, and we have 3 for them. These are whole entire worlds built for them. Let's go pop over and see what the guys have. Now the Leviathan, that page is in pieces because we had to take it apart, but I'm going to be building something new there tomorrow. So let's go over here and let's get it for the gentleman. Isn't that cool? What? I can't express this enough that when you haters out there say that my website, yeah, please, thank you so much for bringing customers our way. You know, you see this stuff versus your page? The other guy had Wix. How the freak you do not know how to operate the freaking website? We had the same website and he doesn't know how to operate it. You know how to utilize the page. That's why I did tutorials when I was showing people how to go in and navigate this and control this and design this. You can build some pretty cool stuff on Wix. The thing about it, if you don't know what you're doing, then quite frankly, you don't know what you're doing. And that's why his page looked boring. He had to operate his own page. Oh, let's go click in here. I got music. I got to put some music in there. I have no idea what we're going to go with. Has to be copyright free, we know that. Now this all has to come out of there. We got a new screen coming in for this one. I like the Poseidon. But I think I might name it after the Greek mythology. Oh, the Kraken. We got a Kraken we can do. We might do a Kraken. Oh, Kraken would be sick. That would be sick. I got a color for that. Would be absolutely beautiful. So that's just thrown in there for the time being because we had to scrap the other screen because I did more research and I found exactly what Leviathan was. The meaning of Leviathan, it has some biblical stuff to do with Revelations and stuff like that. So it had to go. This right here we have is an FOE. Oh, this is all got to be changed out. All this is going to be changed out. Get to start tomorrow. I got to work tomorrow. Take all this stuff out. This all has to be done. Cosmic sunflower, something Cinemax black. Screen's yellow, by the way. Oh, the Thunder Shamrock. They're green. This is a screen that somebody tried to copy and so they can't. No, stop it. You can't even do color paints. What the heck are you talking about? All your stuff is white and gray. White and gray, white and gray, white and gray. No, forget it. Just stop it, please. Let me see. Extreme. Yeah, the FOE has to come out of there for the new one. Extreme Scarlet Samurai. And this is their page for this one. Oh, and this is right here is the Sub-Zero Arctic Black. This is a gorgeous freaking screen. Can't wait to be showing this off pretty soon. So yeah, we're going to be designing all these. Now, these screens going to be available? Not yet. Probably somewhere roughly around the end of the year. But we still want to basically get them down packed, get them onto a plastic surface so we have them, we can show them off to our investors. And they have whole entire showrooms built for them. And we'll get this one done. I already have a screen for this one already. For that ready to go. So we can put that page back together. It'll take some time. We'll get it all knocked out. Let me see. Where is the Retro Rage? Let me see. Marketplace. What's new? We got to upgrade what's new. Update definitely. We got so much stuff now we got to load on there. So I got to get that started. What's this one? Oh, this is explaining the ILEG TV technology. All this has to be updated. We changed everything out, so it's going to be updated again. So I'm going to get that done. Let me see what's new. Portable projection screens. We're also going to be having one of these to show off pretty soon. This is actually a portable 40 to 50-inch screen. We have projectors coming in from Philips. They're portable projectors. Test them and see how they work on our technology. And this is going to be portable screens for RV life, for your home, for a small home, tiny home living, camping, gaming, the whole 9 yards, everything. For business, everything. And also, too, for trade shows, because we're working on technology for trade shows. So these pages were built ahead of time to get ready for what we're doing now. This is all future technology. Start dropping in dates now. Let them know exactly what year this is all going to be pushing through. Our gaming technology. So now we have a screen basically that makes a 1050 look insane. Insane, I tell you. Insane. The Apex Gamer. Apex Gamer will actually change the color of a gray screen. It'll alter it. It'll definitely change it. I like that other black technology. That stuff is crazy what it does to a gray screen. It actually sucks all the color out of it. But these are different. These are far worse. They'll do much more damage to a gray screen. So if a gray screen is considered to be your upgrade, it can take your upgrade down. Easy. Any gray screen. I don't care if it's gray paint, gray screen. I don't care what you got today. If it's light gray, if it's mid gray, if it's charcoal gray, whatever it is. If you're gunmetal, it doesn't make a difference. I think it'll take your screen out. I mean, if we put that much hype into our website, imagine what the product will do to you. There you go. There we go. Now, keep in mind, when you talk about black technology, what are you talking about here? Are you talking about invisible technology, color technology? I mean, color black screens. Which one are you talking about here? We got stuff that's made especially for mapping. We got stuff made especially for holograms. We got stuff for visual effects. We got submersive screens that can be dunked underwater. Which ones are we talking about? You just say you just make some black stuff, right? That's pretty about it? All right, whatever. That tells me at the end of the day you don't know what you're doing. What are you talking about? We got gaming technology. Now, we're talking to people who call themselves making our products. No, you're not even close. Wow, I can't wait to the retro rage. Retro rage. Now, for those who are saying, but those are copyrighted materials. Yeah, they are. And guess what? We got a disclaimer on the site that says that none of this content on here belongs to us whatsoever. It belongs to people who basically market it and sell that content. Now, if they contact us and say, hey, you want to remove? We remove it, just like that. And no naysayers. You can't say any fake nonsense in the day. You are too dumb to write paperwork at the end of the day. I've seen your stuff in the day. It is pitiful and sad. Really sad. Trust me. I've got some of the dumbest stuff of them on the face of the planet. Are you kids writing this stuff? Because it can't be you. Literally, one time we were showing off, what was it? The Screen Innovation and Daylight. Daylight Screen Innovation. Yeah, we posted the letter. It's fun. People can't stop laughing over it. But anyway, so they got their heads together and decided to get. That's why I call them the Three Stooges. They got this bright idea. We're going to send him a letter over and sound like we're the company. Should I send that letter over to the companies? Let them know that you're basically impersonating them at the end of the day? Well, I can shift that stuff in their direction really quick. I can do it tomorrow. But anyway, they sent me this dumb letter talking about, we're going to sue you if you don't take down the videos. Now, again, I can't express this enough. This is why I seriously, and I try to be nice about this. Do you have someone helping you get through the day? Like someone helping you tie your shoes, help you open doors. I hope you don't drive. You can't be that stupid. I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm not. You can't be that stupid. Who would even believe the stuff that you write at the end of the day? You guys don't know how to write a decent document correctly. Your spellings are off. Grammar is absolutely horrible. It's just, it's the most funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire. Just get to the letter. I'll tell you how bad this letter was. So when the letter got there, and I know you're in the room, listen up. When you sent the letter over, first things first, companies, they had their own lawyers. These are big companies. They have their own attorneys, their own legal department. They're not going to vouch for another company. They don't care about what's going on with that company. The money they spend for the attorneys for their company, why in the world would I have my legal help this company out if they got their own legal help to begin with? That would be stupid. So if I'm going to mention something, it would be one letter going out, and it would be the attorney. You would have the attorney's name. You would have the address, the numbers, the fax number, the law firm, the whole 9 yards would be in there. To contact them, because that's what you have to do, to contact them about what their list of demands are, or whether or not you're going to decide whether let's take this to court. They're trying to write out a cease and desist order. So let me explain something to you. You want to explain to me that I don't know what a cease and desist order is, but I do, because I had attorneys send one out. And no, they're not what your guys would at the end of the day. All right, so none of that was there. There's no information on the attorney whatsoever. Nothing there at all, period. Nobody signing off from any legal department. Nothing there, not a thing. Just based on saying that they were going to sue me if I didn't remove the videos for screen innovation and for daylight. Yeah, first things first, I told you before, I'm a company at the end of the day. I got my own attorneys, my own legals. I'll send you out a letter separately, and I'll only be talking about me. I couldn't care less about them because my legal doesn't pay for them. They have their own legal at the end of the day. So I'll be talking about me. And then first thing, I'll have my attorney there, so you'll have to reach and contact him, because you won't be talking to us, you'll be talking to him. He's the one representing our case, so that's who you'll be talking to, just like the letter I sent out to Jamie from an attorney who told him to leave the copyrights alone, which we're going to show the judge to warn you about this, right, that this was going to happen, okay? So don't be shocked. But anyway, so with that being said, no, your letter that you sent out was from a bunch of buffoons that didn't know what they were doing, and you thought that you would use some childlike scare tactics, figuring that, oh, he'll get scared, he'll take the videos down. And this is why I do not give you the credit as normal functioning adults. I would not be surprised when you ride a bike there's training wheels in the back of it. I wouldn't be surprised if you drank out of a sippy cup. I would not be surprised. I really wouldn't. You kind of remind me of the mentality of Peter Griffin. You know, remember when he had to wear floaties just to eat soup? They afraid he was going to drown? That kind of scenario. You would be the type of people that would drown in a foot of water. I mean, all you would have to do was just stand up, but you would literally drown in a foot of water. Now, if you feel that's insulting at the end of the day, and you feel, look at the stuff you send me. Come on, half of y'all can't even spell correctly. So, yeah. And then you try to come back and say, oh, but I know more about business than you do. So let me explain something to you here. See that right there? As long as you put disclaimers in. Now, if they felt anything was wrong with that, they would contact and say, hey, look, we need you to remove so-and-so and so, da-da-da-da. Not a problem. It's not a problem to do. Not a problem at all. I can make my own content and put it in there. It's not a problem at all. Like theirs instead. So that's why you put disclaimers down there. Unlike somebody who stole someone's trademark like Frankenstein and made money off of it. Now, if I printed that onto a can and put down Retro Rage and put down Street Fighter and put down Mortal Kombat and put down what do you call this game again? I can think of it. Streets of Rage. If I put that on a can, now you're looking at a lawsuit coming your way, because now you're profiting. You made money off a company's name without asking for permission, number one, but not paying out those royalties. Frankenstein, ring a bell? There you go. And if you sold any of those plastic figures over there to anybody, you're definitely going to be hit with some serious charges. So that's going to be a problem. Can't do that anyway, by the way. This is what happens when people don't crack books at the end of the day. And for the individual who thinks at the end of the day, because he's undocumented, he can get away with whatever he wants to get. No, you're not getting away with jack. Any one of those companies get wind that you're printing out licensed material and selling it, and they go file a lawsuit against you, you're in a lot of trouble. So don't think you're just going to basically just find out you don't have paperwork and just send you. No. You're going to stand trial. So whoever gets to you first, it's going to be like watching pit bulls, a bunch of pit bulls fight over a piece of meat. Because this got so many agencies that are going to be hitting them. When this thing pops up in court, we pop up in court, a lot of stuff's going to pop up. A lot of stuff. There's going to be a lot of agencies involved with this guy. But that's his problem, it's not mine. But anyway, so we have to put disclaimers down on everything. Because anybody thinking that, no, none of this belongs to us, right there. Boom, boom, boom. So we say that ahead of time because these dummies will get their heads together and go, you know what we're going to do? We're going to write a letter and we're going to send it to him. And the letter's going to state that we're asking him to remove the stuff off his website. Yeah, you're that dumb. Did I just mention what you're thinking right now? There you go. We already know that. See that right there? That's a disclaimer right there. That tells everybody from the door that we don't have any rights to that whatsoever. That's why when people do videos, and they're showing off content, we aren't responsible for the music. The music's not mine. They're saying that, hey, look, this isn't property of so and so and so. They'll give them the credit. That's what you have to do. That's the proper way you do business. Let's see. Please note that this is a disclaimer. These videos are not owned by our company. We do not take claim or ownership of these videos, video trailers displayed on this website. Simple and plain. So if any of those companies were to contact me and say, okay, he has a disclaimer up there, he's basically stating it's not his and belongs to him. Yeah, it's not ours. It belongs to us. But when you take someone's work and you claim it to be yours and make a profit off of it, this will get you in trouble. That stuff's not hooked up to anything that involves selling anything, nothing whatsoever. That's why the disclaimer's here. Just used for background art. That's what it's used for. But you took someone's name, the company's name, and stuck it on a container. Just so you know those cans of Frankenstein mixes that you were selling on eBay way back in there, the faces on them, I got them documented. I documented all that stuff. So even though you deleted all that stuff, you think it's gone. No, we have pictures showing your eBay account, how much you were selling it for, with the Frankenstein trademark face on it. We got all that stuff. I was pretty sitting like, going, yeah, we've been tracking it for that long. Because we know a day was going to come up, we were going to have it in court. Do we need it? No, we really don't. But we want to show the court he has a history of basically violating people's copyrights and trademarks and carrying on. He's been doing other people besides us. And if my buddy's right now, he's tracking your account right now on those figures that you got on your site that you've been selling. He works in that field. He works in the field of 3D printing. So you can't do any of that whatsoever. He finds one order go out. Anyone who basically claims to have one of those items that bought it from you, he's going to contact some people. And he knows those people at the end of the day because he deals with those people. They'll come down and inspect your machines. You know why? Make sure you're not printing ghost guns. There's another thing too. They'll go through your equipment, all your stuff, to make sure you're not printing ghost guns, to make sure you're not printing out any form of licensed material that you're selling. Now, you can print it out for yourself, for your own personal use. You could do that as long as you're not selling it. That'll get you in trouble. I had a friend of mine, she did artwork on sneakers. And she was doing like Hello Kitty, all this stuff. I was like, no, stop doing that. Stop doing it altogether. Don't do anything like that. That'll get you sued in a hot second. That's all licensed material that you're using. Anything on t-shirts, stuff like that, get your own stuff at the end of the day. The cue we got for the Crystal Edge, I had to go down and I had the sites you can go to for free copyright art. That's where you go to, free copyright art. And we added our 2 cents to it, and that's why we are able to get it copyrighted. Now, when they copyright, they have to do a search on it, which means they have to search all over the world. You can get it global or you can get it for the United States. Mine's global. So they search all over the world to see if anybody comes up with that exact same picture or whatever you have. No one comes up, you got to write to copyright it. So, yeah. And if you catch anybody with it, that's going to cost them a lot of money. Because they have to show a letter of proof that they got permission from you. If there's no letter, yeah, this is going to be bad. I mean, extremely bad. 4 ways from Sunday bad. Let me see real quick. So yeah, anything we have on here, if it's not our material, we put those disclaimers in there, which is extremely important. And I've had that on a Retro Rage. I've had that on there for roughly 2 years and never had a company contact us. But we say that ahead of time because just in case, if the idiots get the dumb idea, like, we're going to send him out a letter. You've done this one before, remember? You've done this multiple times. We'll send him out a letter, and we're going to show him. Good gracious, I swear. Whew. It's like the equivalent of trying to teach preschoolers the physics of, or put it in a different way. Let's put it away. Let's put down hydroelectric energy, which is something I love to study. Energy and water. I like studying that. It's like trying to teach them that. Or how to build these machines at the end of the day. Some people, I tell them how to build these machines and all the parts and stuff you need, modifications and all that stuff, right over top of their head. I was talking to my sister's friend, and she had a problem with her computer, and I got into this whole rant about, not rant, but more like I get into about building machines and stuff, and different parts and stuff to put together, modifications and all that stuff, and I showed them the PCs, and they look like, good gracious, that looks like it's freaking super complicated. But in my head, it's not. It's easy. But in her head, it's extremely complicated. So, you know, it's like pretty much explaining to a preschooler about the PC build. I kind of feel like I'm going to have a conversation with them guys. I mean, for once, you just can answer one simple question. Ask that guy 3 times about range gain. You can't tell me anything about this stuff? Really got to stop making stuff up. All right, let's get over here. Got a funny popping through. Let me see. So we got this right here. We're building. There's the retro logo right there. But yeah, all these trailers, not ours. And we got to update our trailers too on top here. The trailers need to be updated. Let's see how many of these already came out already. Yeah, we got to update all this. So now we got to go through updates through everything. Everything has to go through all updates. So we got updates to do on here again. Yeah. So, lesson to be learned. Lesson, if you're going to be doing any form of like Donkey Kong, anything like that in the background, just make sure that you put that disclaimer out. Do not put it on cans. Don't put it on containers. Don't put it on t-shirts, nothing like that. You get yourself in trouble. A lot of trouble. And go get your stuff. There's plenty of sites that give out free clip art. Free clip art, but you can use it. It doesn't have any copyrights on it. You can use it for your own work. Make your labels and all that stuff with it. All that stuff, everything. You can do it yourself. Go down to LegalZoom and get a copyright. Protect your stuff. Now, seeing that joker touch our copyrights like that, that's the reason why you get your stuff basically locked in. Because you got people that would do stuff like that dumb on that level, would touch your stuff over and over and over again, thinking that there's no, oh, I can't wait to get him in court. You have no idea. I can't wait on that day. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what he says in front of the judge. That's what I can't wait for. That's what I'm excited about. I can't wait he says to the judge. Oh, Fernando, I cannot wait till you meet these judges, man. I don't know what you're going to say to them. You don't got my consent and my permission to be touching my stuff at the end of the day. You know my copyrights are 100% legit. Man, it's going to be open and shut case. It's going to be the fastest open and shut case ever. I don't think we're going to even be that long. You got to show proof. We got so much stuff on him. It's unbelievable how much stuff we got on him. And the CCBs, those are basically cyber courts or cyber judges. So he don't have to go anywhere. They're going to give him he's going to do a Zoom call. I'll see you, buddy, soon. Yep, me, you, and the judge. I can't wait. You probably won't even pop in. I guarantee he doesn't log in. I guarantee he doesn't log in. I can't show any of that by the way anyway. But I guarantee he doesn't log in. But I will get the document court records to show exactly what happened. I will post them. But I guarantee don't log in. You don't log in, buddy, it's going to cost you $60 grand. It's going to cost you $60,000. You don't log in. And I will get an execution of judgment on your property, on everything you own that day. I'll get a debt collector from California to come get your stuff. And your landlord's definitely going to find out about it. They're definitely going to find out about it. Your neighbors are going to know about it. Especially when the trucks come up, Sheriff's Department, California, the Sheriff's Department come up there, and they start taking your stuff out of your place. Yeah, they're going to know about it. Everybody's going to know about it. There's nothing you can do about it. It's going to be $60 grand. So I hope he got it. So this next processor will come to the door. He'll hit that door. I don't care. Post it, hit it. I don't care. Get it there, snap a picture, send it back to us, set this court date up, and I'll see you in court. Now the other one, in federal court, that one is a doozy for you, because that one carries jail time. CCB doesn't carry jail time. CCB carries lawsuits. But the federal is different. The federal files lawsuits and jail time because you violated copyright. Now, what makes it real complicated for him at the end of the day, that anything that goes to the CCB, the Copyright Claims Board, goes on public record, which means when we go to court for the federal charges, or for federal, we take it over there, they're going to go in and see if he has any previous prior convictions on copyrights, and those two are going to pop up showing the judge that we recently took him to court on the CCB and we had to process that. So you thought your get out of jail free card was going to help you. Not today, buddy boy. And guess what else it's going to pop up? It's going to pop up on their freaking radar. It's going to pop up. Then we had to take it to court. We're the ones who filed that document against you, and it's going to pop up on their radar. So we had to turn around and take it to court for basically touching the copyrights. This is not going to go well. Talking about trigger and effect. It's like watching a submarine go through a minefield that's magnetic. This is going to hit some... You're going to implode down there, man. It is bad. Real bad. Really, really bad. So we got to come back in at the end of this month. We file now for the process server. Told you. They don't play around with this mess, man. We're going to get this thing wrapped up and get it done. But we ain't done there yet. Mind you, got other stuff too. We got the cyber charges. We got the freaking post office mail fraud. So a whole lot of stuff's going to be coming up in these court cases. I got a long conversation to have with this judge when I get in there to explain to him his activities since he's been here in this country, what he's been doing. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes on with this. But anyway, we get into that federal court. This is where you're basically will be charged, you'll be prosecuted for time. The time, like we go to CCB, it's money. But we go to federal court, it's money and jail time. What they give you, it's not what we give you. It's what they're going to give you for touching the copyrights. There's a penalty for touching those copyrights. Easy get, roughly 80, 90 years in jail. I don't know what he was thinking. I'm going to tell you something right now. If you look at the other ones, like Williams, McAfee, those guys, they're getting sucked in this wormhole too with him. They're definitely getting sucked into the wormhole because they're in the documents, and every document we wrote, we put their names and everything. So they were with him. They can't say they weren't. In Crowcast, yeah, we got all that's been documented sent over to them. So it showed that you guys were involved in all this stuff at the end of the day. They're going to sort who touched what when they go from there. But whatever he did, you guys are going to get blamed for. Whatever you did, he's going to get blamed for it. And then his conspiracy charges are going to be popping up. So this is going to be a crazy mess for them. But this is another problem you have right here, especially for him. Whew, man, I'm glad I didn't get in this much kind of trouble. I mean, I got in trouble, but this is pretty bad. It's really, really bad. That's why I said you're at a crossroad right now. Your time ain't good. It's not good at all. This is pretty bad. Okay, so basically, the problem he has, the bigger problem he has with the copyrights is the substantial evidence. With copyrights, you have to have hardcore evidence showing the person did touch them and tamper with them. We have countless conversations with Fernando, recording documents that we have. We had conversations and live streams on his website, which is actually posted everywhere. His website is on all documents, even the documents down here with immigration. We had to put down if he had a company, the LLC, all the information, filing number, all that went into their documents. So you know he has a company, a business he was running. So with that being said, that you guys are definitely going to come up in this mess. And I'm going to tell you right now, he's not going to go down by himself. Even though we have the evidence to charge these individuals, he's not going in by himself. He's going to take them with him. He's going to rat every single one of them out. If they can work out a plea deal. Because what he's going to have to deal with, he's going to deal with them on that end. We don't have anything to do with the jail time. The jail time and the other stuff, yeah, it comes up for cyber and all that stuff like that. But involving the copyrights, this involves them. That's the penalty. You ever touch a VCR tape and they sit there and say for touching this or duplicating this, you know, you'll spend like so much time in jail and you get sued for like $500,000 or $250,000? That's what he's facing. So let's put it this way. And Fernando, you can laugh at this you want. We don't care. I'll see you in court. That's all that matters. You can laugh, joke. We don't care. We'll see you in court. That's all that matters. If I say you're going to get 200 years, I'm being light on you. I like saying that. You're way over that point. That's how bad it is. You're way over the point of 200 years. It's really, really bad. I talk this about my family and friends. Like, man, this guy is going to be going. People I know, the people who are for FBI, I know people, police, all that stuff like that. Friends of mine that are attorneys, people that I know that I'm good friends with. I talk to them about this, and they go, I said, man, this guy really, really messed up. I mean, on a level I've never seen anybody mess up before. And he literally believed, because he didn't have he was not documented, that they were just going to send him back over. What freaking Saturday morning special movie was you watching at the end of the day? No. That's not going to happen. You still got to serve the cyber crimes that we posted in there, and we had to give up information on that. Mind you, that document that I just filled out, they're going to call me on that thing. They're going to contact me. All my information there is legit. My phone number, everything in there is legit. Everything in it. So when they contact me, and they will contact me, and ask me all those questions, mind you, the penalty for basically lying on one of those documents is imprisonment and fines. So they're going to contact me. And I've got tons of information stacked up to give to them. But by the time we reach that point, I think we should be able to get them in court for copyrights. That's what I want to do. That's the plan, to get them in courts for the copyrights. Now, you can sit there and say at the end of the day, but you're supposed to be a Christian, this, that, and the other. Didn't I send you a cease and desist order? Didn't we have a process server come to your door? We let that go, right? What did you do after the process server hit your door? You continue to commit crimes. You committed to touch my documents, my paperwork, my copyrighted material, right? You didn't take any of that seriously, right? So you're going to go to jail for it now. The difference is that when these process servers hit that door, I don't think they have contact with you at the end of the day. All we need is to hit the door, take the pictures, get them back to us, so we can get you from that judge as fast as possible. I ain't got time for any cat and mouse game. Send it back. As long as we got confirmation that they hit the door and it's there, we're good. That's all we need. That's the judge. That's all we need anyway. So we're going to get you from a cyber judge as fast as possible. Now, your money we're going to take out of you. We're donating it to charity. We don't want it. But what's going to go on in that federal courtroom? This is where it gets brutal. This is where you're talking about your life. You're going to have to worry about. That's what you're going to have to worry about. You can easily get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years in there. That's when it's bad. We got so much evidence on Fernando, I don't even need an attorney to walk in there to represent me in federal court. That's how bad it is. It's an open and shut case. We'll be walking into federal court with 2 already won lawsuits against him from the CCB, Copyrights Claim Board. If he pops up, he's a no-show in there, that's not even going to go well. An attorney can't even represent him at the end of the day because he's a no-show, he's a risk. That's how bad it's going to be. There's that much evidence. There's so much evidence, we literally do not need an attorney. Have an attorney look over and think, you don't even need us. You can walk in yourself and do this. You got so much evidence on this guy. We got conversations with you on your forms, on your site, of you showing off and flashing our copyrights without permission. We had an attorney contact you about not doing this. You did it anyway. We had a process server go to your front door for your copyrights from the CCB, showing clearly that you continue to carry on acts right after that. We have tons of pictures where you've actually slandered our name, wrote on our name, did whatever you want. Now, again, like I said, go on your channel, do whatever you want to do. We don't care about that. I'll see you in court from a judge. I guarantee you one thing. When my Lord told me to go forth, this is going to be your judgment call right here. And for the difference between you and me is that I had 40 to 80. You're way beyond what I was about to get. Way beyond that. If you got 250 years, you'd be lucky for what's about to hit you. And mind you, that's not the end of it, because my people are filed against you. You dox their address without their permission, so they're filed against you. The building that they live in, the landlord, he's going to file against you too also. Yep. Now, if you sat there and said that, well, we already know that from the door. First things first, no one accused you of not being documented. Red flags popped up. A lot of red flags. And I'll tell you why. Your buddies that were with you carrying on and acting up, none of them really touched those copyrights. You know why they didn't touch those copyrights the way you did? Because they knew at the end of the day that those copyrights were legit. I'm guaranteed they looked them up. And they figured that if this guy catches me or figures out where I live at, he's got this kind of weight over the top of my head, I'm going to jail. We didn't have to figure out where you live at. The minute I file, they put it under investigation, which means they have to get an investigator to track down their whereabouts of where they live at, to serve them to get them ready to go to court for copyright violations. They know that from the door. They weren't dumb enough to do what you did with those copyrights. Now, who in their right mind would be dumb enough to touch a copyright over 120 times? Maybe somebody who felt at the end of the day that they weren't responsible if they got caught. That the worst thing that would happen to them, they just get deported. Someone told you wrong information. That's what you thought. That's why you kept touching them and carrying on. That's why you did all the stuff you did while you were here, because you figured that the worst is going to happen to me, they're just going to send me back over. That's what they're going to do. Nope, you'll never make it across that line. You're going to spend your time here. So that means all the crimes and whatever you committed, especially stuff that we don't know at the end of the day, and stuff we do know, you're going to face all of that. You don't get away with anything. Nope, I don't know who told him that dumb nonsense at the end of the day. You ever watch that movie called, what was it called, Midnight Express? That guy went over to Turkey. I think it was Turkey, right? Over in Turkey. He had cocaine on him. He got caught over there. Did they send him back to the United States? No. He spent the majority of his life in a Turkish prison. He was over there so long, he spoke the language fluently. That's how long he was there. If you ever saw that movie before. It's a true story, too. Based on a true story. They ain't sent him back home. No, they're going to keep him there. I don't know, you didn't see that one, but yeah, you're going to be here with us for a long time. Very, very long, long time. There's your crossroad right there. Oh, man. I don't understand how people get themselves in this kind of trouble. And keep in mind, for those of you who were actually with him doing this stuff, he's going to pull you into that dark pit with him. Because there's no way in the world, knowing that you guys were entertaining that nonsense with him, that he is going to allow you to walk around scot-free while he's in there doing that time. You're coming with him. I guarantee you. He's going to give up names left and right. That's not that we don't already have him, but he is going to give up. He's going to sing like a canary. Next month, I begin the process for a process server. We begin to finish the rest of the, I'm paying the $450 to get ready for federal court. So we can get that settled and get it in there. So, get ready. It's coming. This is where you're going to need to make your peace with God. Now, can I stop this? No, I can't. We gave you opportunities. I gave all of them opportunities. They didn't take any of them. Wait a minute. I'm supposed to sit there and allow you to continue to attack me and my family? Just let it go? No, we have to do something about this. We have to stop it from happening. Anybody else would have basically hit these buttons a long time ago and had you in a courtroom a long time ago. We gave you opportunities. You didn't take them. Richmond had a crescent sword. He never took it. Which is going to be held against him now in court. It's going to be used against him in court. So, that's the reason why we knew there's a couple red flags that popped up why he was not documented. And mind you, when I brought up this information, most people have documentation will show it. He disappeared for 11 days. We know it was documented. That he disappeared off his channel for 11 days. And then came back and made some video about, oh, he's deported me because I told the truth. No one said anything about you being deported. You said that. We said we were hoping you were an American citizen so that way we can hold you in court. You told on yourself when you said it. And then other red flags popped up. The copyrights. Again, none of them touched the copyrights that way. You're the only ones who touched them. And then your address. You've been in the same address since your kids. Who lives in a spot that long with a family? No one raises an entire family in an apartment. People move out of apartments all the time. They outgrow them. Many people I know live in the same house, and that's a house, that's a different story, but lives in the same house for that many times it was given to them. That's pretty much it. But people usually don't stay in apartments all their lives. Only people I know who actually live in apartments by themselves are single people. And even they upgrade to a bigger apartment. You make more money, you upgrade to a bigger place. That's what we do. We always do that. Everybody does that. Unless you're miserly, you don't spend your money. But instead of you seeing the way he spends his money on projectors and those toys at the end of the day, you can tell he does spend his money. So with that being said, you've been in the same spot for how long? Maybe because the building you're in didn't ask for a lot of documentation and paperwork in order for you to be able to obtain the unit. Because places I had to go to ask for some serious documents to go move into one of those places. You would have never been to get in one of those places at all. So that's what some of the things that came to mind that he's not documented. Because again, an apartment's not big. Those apartments over there I think are one-bedroom apartments. Can't raise a family in a one-bedroom apartment. He's got 3 dogs, got a couple of dogs, a couple of cats in there. He's got, 2 kids or something like that? They're probably all grown now. They're probably like 19, 20, somewhere in that range. Most people, the minute they find that they're having another baby, they start saving up their money and they move. They get a 2-bedroom apartment, or maybe they rent a house or something like that. They need something to expand out the kids' backyard or something. That's what they do. They don't spend their whole entire life in an apartment. The only people you see spend their entire life in an apartment, divorcees who live in apartments by themselves, people just basically just don't know, never got any kids. Like me, I don't have kids. I would spend no, I can't do an apartment. I hate apartments. I had a house, that's why. If you had a house, you can't do an apartment. You literally can't do it. No, the transition doesn't work well. But anyway, still. And then if they do get an apartment, the minute they get a raise and get some extra money, what do? They upgrade, get a better apartment. If that's what they like, that apartment in life, they'll get a bigger apartment. Something with a nice little patio out there, bigger windows, gourmet kitchen, bigger bathroom. Especially if you got a spouse, she's going to definitely want to upgrade. She's not going to want to stay in the same spot. She's going to want a bigger place too. We gradually move constantly all the time. So you literally have never moved until you moved into that place. And then fake the move. Who would fake a move? Moving such a pain. No, he's been in the same spot. The reason why he's been in the same spot, because he's comfortable where he's at. He's comfortable where he's at because not a lot of questions were asked. That's why. That's why. Tell me if I'm wrong when I'm saying what I'm saying. Tell me that in your head already. That's why. There are places I've been at, and I know people that weren't documented. I can tell they weren't documented there. They've been there for years in these places. Years they've been in there. And you can see by the apartment on the stuff that the congested, how congested the apartment is. There's stuff packed in corners. There's stuff packed all over the place. It's just congested in there. There's no place for really moving there because, again, storage units require state ID. You were driving a vehicle. You're driving a vehicle with a license? These are all these questions that are going to pop up. I know people who drove in North Philadelphia for years without a license. Just never got caught. They have no license. Get in the car and just start driving. So it's like a lot of questions. Most people, if they get caught without a license, will say, hey, my license expired, I'm getting another one, so and so and so. Sometimes the cop may let them off, sometimes they might get a ticket, this, that, and the other. So yeah, it's a lot of questions. So if you sit there and say, oh, you're asking all these questions, no, Fernando, we're asking ththese questions at the end of the day because you broke a law. You broke a couple of laws. If you didn't break any laws whatsoever, I couldn't care less at the end of the day. You just mumbo jumbo, just talking trash on camera. We're used to that. But when you start breaking laws like you did in the day, now you start asking a lot of questions. You start digging into your stuff now, figure out exactly who you are, where you're at, such and so. How can we get a process server to your front door? How do we get you behind the courtroom? You become a person of interest, and that's what you become now, person of interest. And when I asked that question, you disappeared for 11 days. You didn't come back with any documents, nothing whatsoever. A person who has documentation is going to show they have documentation. Right from the door, they're going to show this. From over in Japan, I got a passport. I got citizenship to be there. Anybody comes up to me and says, hey, you don't have, here you go. Bam. It's my passport, my citizenship, everything, the whole 9 yards. Right there. I'm going to nip that in the bud as fast as I possibly can. Because I'm not going to allow that even to take off with some nonsense. I'm going to come right in there and back it up right there from the door. Ask anybody about their credentials, and if they got it and they know they got it, they're going to show it to you. Military? Yeah, I was in the military. You know, he wasn't. Guess what? Here you go. Military ID, some of my friends I served with, so and so and so. They didn't want to show you all that stuff. Why not? You got it. Why not show it? Just like the other fellow we asked him about, was he a priest, a minister? We got 3 videos of him screaming and ranting in front of a Burlington Coat factory. You don't have those documents on you. You don't have anything at all. And judging by what I've read and the letters, there's no way in the world you want to college. I've been surprised as you pass high school. I'm not even going to put it there. I wouldn't think you pass high school. But as I said before, with what I read in those letters, how badly the writing was, there's no way in the world you went to school for biblical studies. You couldn't pass it. I don't, forget this, move on. Anyway, so yeah. You gave yourself up at the end of the day. The one thing you said to us that I figured out when it clicked is when you said, I'm being deported. A person who's not documented will automatically make that statement. They'll say, I'm getting deported. The person could, the person say, well, you're not getting deported, so and so and so. We just have to do some paperwork, and you just have to so and so and so. But they'll come back and say, I'm getting deported because they're scared. You gave yourself up that fast. We never said you was getting deported. You said we have to check, see if you have your documents. Because before I file any more charges, I need to make sure that you can stand trial here. We don't want to hear some nonsense at the end say, well, Mr. Bird, I know you filed all these charges and I know you paid for all these court cases, but technically we got to send them back over, so we have some money. Don't want to hear that. And that's how that started. If somebody balled up and said, is it documented? And you better do that before you pay any more money for any more court cases or anything you got to pay for, because if this guy's not, and they send him back over, you're out. You're just going to send him back over. You're out. You're going to get the money back. I said, okay, we got to find out. So I made statements about basically saying, and I can go back and check all my videos, every single one of them say the same thing, that I hope you're an American citizen. Because if you are an American citizen, it means you won't get deported. You can stay here and we can prosecute you. But when I talked to another friend of mine who is an attorney, and no, not one from here, which you think at the end of the day, you know who you are, by the way. But anyway, now from here, I talked to an attorney at the City Hall. I know a lot of people at the end of the day. A lot of people. So I talked to a friend over there, and he said, well, if you committed a crime technically here, you'll have to stand trial here. And then whatever time, or maybe they'll work out a plea deal, he'll do a little bit of time, maybe 2 or 3 years, depending how bad it is, and then they'll send him back. That's what he said. So, we can't ask you whether or not you have documents or not. I can't come out front and say, hey, do you have these documents? I can't ask you that. That'd be wrong. So what I did was I had to find somebody that could find out whether you were documented or not. And the police can't do it, FBI can't do it, but there's one group of people that can. ISIS. That's what we had to go to. Now, for those, he's not well educated in this part. Let's educate Mr. Fernando in this. Can anyone call immigrations on somebody and get them arrested? No, you can't. Impossible. I know, because I went through the process. You have to fill out a form. Now, the forms are better, and I'll tell you why the forms are better. Because that keeps people from saying things they shouldn't say. Like, I got these people over here at the end of the day, I think they're terrorists, blah, blah, blah. You can't do that. You got to fill out a document. If you even call the number for them, you know what happens? It puts you back to the website where you have to go to fill out the document. And in the document, you're going to write all your information down, everything at the end of the day. So there's no hiding behind nothing. Like these jokers do. You hide behind something, you can't hide behind anything. All your information is going to be there. You fill out anything incorrectly on this document, it says right there you're going to be knowledgeable of the document that you have completed, and you are fully aware that you can face imprisonment. That's perjury, imprisonment, and fines and penalties. So you will put all your information in there. Mind you're dealing with the government, they'll figure out where you're at, they'll find you. And they're going to have to contact you. All that information comes up and it doesn't come up correctly, they can't reach out to you, they find it's fake, now they're going to start an investigation on you, because that's part of that document that you signed. So in that document we filled out, those documents are designed for people who commit crimes, which we have against him. And in one of the crimes they asked for, like, drugs and prostitution, human trafficking, one of them is cyber crimes, which we marked off, which were you, Mr. Fernando. And then they asked for docket numbers, they asked for evidence, information. We put the docket number in, because in the docket number, Downtown Police has all the different times that we went in and we filed against you, and they scanned in all your information for every single complaint we filed. There's a scanned document connected to it showing the criminal activity that you committed. It's quite a lot. The docket number from the CCP, the report for the name and number for the process service that'll go to your front door for copyright infringement, information for the attorney who basically contacts you for the cease and desist order, all that stuff is in there. So anything you do from here on in, you'll stand trial for. My buddy comes in, he finds anything on your page, pictures of me, whatever, they send it to us. We go to Allentown, we file for more defamation lawsuits on you. You'll stand trial for every single thing you put into that document. If I put 10 things in there, you go to court 10 times for each one of those. Different account for each one. And it's getting higher in there. Well. So, that's how we noticed that you didn't have paperwork. You told on yourself when you said you were getting deported. No one said that at all. You put that your 2 cents in there because you're afraid. That's why you said it. That's why you went to the whole racist rant. Oh, let me educate you something too about African Americans. Uncle Tom. Oh God, you guys are so stupid. Oh, I couldn't believe how dumb these guys are. First things first. When you call a black guy Uncle Tom, it doesn't really mean anything if you're from a different race. It doesn't. Uncle Tom was referred toward black people call each other Uncle Tom as an insult. Do you know what Uncle Tom was? Do you even know what it was? Before you actually make statements about things you don't know. Because I did reply back and say, what is Uncle Tom? And he couldn't reply back. Again, you're an idiot. And Uncle Tom was a sellout. That's what Uncle Tom is. Sellout of his own people. When the slave master would choose a person he would call his loyalist, the Uncle Tom would think he was better than the other slaves because, he got treated differently. Because the master would basically come in and give him better bedding, better food, better everything. And he would take that power and abuse it. He would beat his own people. He would go in and he would basically steal and rape his own people at the end of the day because he thought he was better than them because the master showed him a little bit more, a little bit more, again, put him on a higher level than the rest of them. That's an Uncle Tom, a sellout. So before you call someone an Uncle Tom and you're Mexican at the end of the day, that doesn't mean anything to me at the end of the day. It doesn't mean anything period at the end of the day because you don't even know what it means. Crack a book every once in a while. Gee whiz Louise. Unbelievable. And people are stupid. That's what an Uncle Tom is. So keep in mind when the slaves were free, the Uncle Tom got murdered. Because he did the worst to his own people. He sold out his own people. That's what he did. He's a sellout. That's what Uncle Tom's are. He's not racist against his own people. He thinks he's better than his own people. Because he has a little bit more authority. He knows he's black. He knows that he can't go to the same places they can't go. He can't eat at the same place because he's still humbled at the end of the day. When he goes into a restaurant, he can't go in there. I don't care if you are my top slave. You're not going in there. You will sit in the stables with the horses. So he knows at the end of the day, he's still what he is. But he thinks he's better than his own race, his own people. Because he has more authority. So he's not racist. He just thinks he's better. You guys are idiots. You call me an Uncle Tom, you think because of that's race? No, you don't even know history at the end of the day. See, I can understand that. From the mentality that I get from you guys and how you write things, how you do things, how you speak on YouTube, I can clearly see you're not well educated. You don't crack books at the end of the day. You don't. You act on impulse. You wear your emotions on your sleeves. You're very easily to get upset. You're little kids. That's how I see you. So when I saw Uncle Tom, I laughed at it. You know why? Because you didn't know what it means. Oh, my goodness. No, that wouldn't be an Uncle Tom if being a racist person. No. But anyway, this person thinks he's better than somebody. Same color, just think they're better because they have a little higher rank. That's why. That would be an Uncle Tom. Now that you're educated, today you're a little bit smarter tomorrow. I got to take apart the PS4 tomorrow. Literally got to take apart the PS4. Okay, let me go order the paints for that. I got to take that whole thing apart, put it all back together again. I think it's dirty on the inside. Really, really dirty in there. It's gonna be a mess. Got to go in and clean it up tomorrow. Got to cut through the case, so I got to order the rest of my stuff to get that done. And I got orders to ship out to England. Man, yeah, they don't understand. They don't understand. I tell you, gentlemen, you should have took the warnings. You really should have took them. When I gave you the opportunity out, McAfee, I gave you multiple out, two ways to get out of this. I did. I gave you multiple ways. I didn't sit on camera. I gave it, and you didn't take it. We're going to prosecute you. You know that, right? You're going to jail. It's sad. He's got kids. He does. We've got his Facebook account. We know. Doug attacked my channel and left his Facebook open. And his account was duplicated. So, yeah, we know you got some little ones, don't you? You won't see them grow up. You know what kind of crimes we got against you now? They're pretty bad, man. You got identity theft, man. We got a lot of stuff against you, man. We got post office fraud against you. You committed fraud against my company. You made fake receipts, did a fake unboxing. It's going to cost you some time for this stuff, man. There's some cyber crimes, too, on top of that. That's 20 years. You won't be able to see your little ones grow up. Gave you the opportunity twice. Can't say I didn't. Anybody else, man, you did that stuff to them, man, would have nailed you. Right to the wall. We gave you an opportunity. I tried to. I don't have no mercy for you anymore. I pray on it. I ask the Lord what to do. If the Lord tells me, back off, give him the opportunity, I'll back off and give the opportunity. And I did. I wished you many blessings, didn't I? You didn't listen at all when I told you this. Now you're going to suffer this fate. It's over. I'll try to keep you from taking the house. I'll try. Other than that, you're done. You're going to get cooked. That can go well. And one thing you have to worry about is one thing they don't have to worry about. It's going to worry about Jamie. Jamie's going to do it ugly. He's going to throw them all on the bus. He's going to throw every single one of them under the bus. He is. He's going to be mad. He's going to be upset and angry. There's no way in the world that he's going to take all that time, knowing you guys had something to do with it. There's no way he's going to do it. Very few people, it's very, very few people can take a hit like that and not give up information. It takes a certain type of person that can do that. They can do time and not basically give up people at the end of the day. And he's not that type of person. He's going to give up all their information, everything about them. Oh, that's what we just. And when you're going to sit there and talk about how at the end of the day, it's racist. It's not racism. And you broke the law. It has to be done. But we knew there were certain key things that were popping up. None of them touched those copyrights like you did. Nobody in their right mind would touch copyrights that many times. You know, it's suicidal at the end of the day. But You did it as if you had no consequences, like nothing can be held against you. And then again, like I said, living in that apartment for that long a time, people would have moved out by then. Got a baby on the way. First thing people think, they got a baby on the way, you got to move, you can't raise a child here. So you raise those kids in that place. I couldn't imagine how cramped and crowded that place must have gotten in there. Only one bedroom apartment in there. So it must have been pretty cramped in there. Somebody had to be sleeping out in the living room. Because there's only one bedroom. It's a one bedroom apartment. It's a 1 and 2 bedroom apartment, but yeah, it's a 1 bedroom apartment. So we already know now. Now, the thing you have going for you right now is that you have enemies at the end of the day. It's not just us. Jamie has a lot of enemies. There are people that don't like him. Any one of those people could be trying to call immigration to come get you. The good thing is, lucky for you at the end of the day, they can't do that. I wouldn't get all high and mighty over that. I definitely would chill with that. But you can't call in and put a call. It's not going to happen. Because they don't want witch hunts at the end of the day. You have to fill documents out to do it. And for any of you people that are feel the need to, basically because you don't like this individual, to just go out and attack him and send these people to him to make his life a nightmare, you can't do it. You got to fill documents out. And in those documents, if you fill those things out incorrectly, you can find yourself in jail yourself. So that won't work at all. So if you are, and I don't know how if he committed a crime against you, especially if you're in California, just have him arrested, just go get him. That's it. Other than that, yeah, you don't have to fill. We had to fill out a document to see whether or not he had papers or not. The jacked up thing about that, Fernando, the real jacked up thing about that, when we fill those documents out, it isn't something like that says, hey, just fill this out, and that's the end of it. No. There's a different type of, these documents are different. These things are designed to build cases around it. That's how we know the documents are different. It ain't like where you can go fill out information how you think. No. You have to show substantial evidence, and it's all this information that they're asking from you. We want docket numbers, we want police reports, we want his address, we want basically his birthday, we want all that. They want all that information. They want your company, they had to put the LLCs, all the information, all that, they want all that information in there. So that means if they contact the lawyers from LegalZoom or whatever who you work with, all that information's in there. They'll get all your information, everything's in there. Everything's locked in there. We would have to explain a summary, what happened, what was involved, all that's in there. That document is designed to basically put you in a position for criminal charges. That's what they're designed for. That's why you can't lie on those documents. You can't make things up. You have to have actual proof that this person actually did this. And we have all that proof. I thought it'd be somebody be talking on the phone saying, hey, look, yeah, so and so and so. We just need to know if you can do a check on him to see if he's documented. That's what we thought it would go down like that. Nope. We got to put all this information in. And then we have to check off one of the crimes that you committed. So when they come to get you, they're not coming to get you to deport you. They're coming to get you to arrest you for crimes that you committed here in the United States. That's a different type of document there. They're not going to come and get you and put you ready for deportation. No, they're going to come get you for your charges that you'll have to go to court for the cyber crimes that we put in those documents that you'll have to be able to, you'll be standing trial for. That's what that thing does. You got it completely off. It's not that. There's law enforcement officers are involved in this. So it's different. Because I can see the type of document you're filling out, what they were asking from us. This is a little faster than us going in and going through the FBI and having them get around to setting things up to come get you. We can go through immigration and do it this way instead. But instead, we went through here to get information about whether or not you had this document or not. It's not set up for that. It's set up to file charges against you for committing crimes. Now, if you say you're documented, say you're a United States citizen, right? and they come, check, and find out you are, you're still going to get locked up because you have crimes. We have proof that you committed these crimes. And I'll have to go to court, and you're going to have to go to court, but you're still going to be locked up, and I'm going to have to basically prove whatever we put in there is actually true. But you're still going to be locked up for charges for basically committing these cyber crimes. It's like when you feel that document is me pressing charges on you. That's pretty much what it is. Like me following, pressing charges on you. So that's what you'll go through. Now, worst is going to happen is you just do the 20 years. If we're back up, we can back up everything we say, do the 20 years. If I can't back it up and everything is fake that I put in there, I'm going to go to jail. That's what's going to happen. But unfortunately, we can back it all up. That's what's going to happen in that ordeal. But the good thing about it is, like, maybe you get out on good behavior. Forget that. That's not going to happen. I'm trying to be real here. That ain't going to happen. You got way too much stuff on your head. That's not going to happen. Not going to happen at all, period. Man, you'll have to come back reincarnation at least maybe 5 or 6 times before you'll clear that stuff. It's a lot. But whoever told him at the end of the day that he could do whatever he wanted to do and he'll just get deported, get sent back over, and that's all that's going to happen, they lied to you, buddy. They lied to you big time. Nope. Man. I tell you, man, all the money in the world I wouldn't trade places with you right now. Not worth it. It's literally that bad. Yeah, he's in that crossroad. That document behind me it's already filed. It's been filed. I got a control number right now. I can get that control number to any agency. Don't feel sorry for you. I don't. I really don't. I gave you the opportunity. You know, it's the same thing I told you about Noah and the ark, right? Went out and he warned all those people, told them that the flood was coming, and they laughed and mocked him. Remember how many times I told you over and over again to leave my copyrights alone, stop touching them, leave them alone? And you kept messing with them and messing with them. Kept throwing it up in my face, writing all over my copyrights, my work, slandering my work, doing whatever you wanted to do with it. Remember that? And I sat out there and I was nice enough to send you over a document from an attorney telling you to back it down. And the attorney told you if you kept touching them, you were going to go to jail, you were getting sued. And the process server come to your front door, it wasn't enough for you. I thought that'd scare you. Nope. It'd be big, bad, and tough. On camera. Acting up and carrying on. Now we find out you're not documented. This is far worse. If you got deported, it'd be a blessing, but you're not getting deported. That means anything you do now, you're going to be responsible for. Every time we find something on your page, we go down to some piece of apartment, we take pictures, I get all the pictures scanned out, have pictures of everything, print them all out, take them down to the piece of apartment, file another charge against you. And every time we see something, we file a charge. Each charge we file, you got to face a judge. If you run, you disappear from that apartment, you'll make it rough for your family. Because they're going to go there. They're going to go there every chance they get. The search warrant through your family members' homes. Thinking you're there. I know, I've seen it happen. I remember one time, the mother was helping out one of the kids in the neighborhood. He had a bracelet on. And he took off. He didn't have a choice. His mother was still sick. He left. He walked up the porch. Man, it was when he walked up that porch, I said it could be 20, 30 minutes. There were cops all up and down. They just walked right through the house. There was nothing. They walked right in. They want to He was gone for a couple of days. He must have came back they came back every day. And they didn't ask Willie was there. They came in. They had already had a search warrant from a judge coming to get him. And they came in. Every single time they walked right in, searched that whole place looking for him. They went to his house. They went to his brother's house. They went to every place he was going to be at. Yep. They were there every day in a search. He popped up. I arrested him. Explained to the judge what happened. He had to be there. He was there to see her last days. And they let him out. Gave him leniency because his mother was dying. He didn't have a chance to explain it. He had to go right there and now when it's happened to in the hospital when he left. But I know I witnessed those guys coming back. Yeah. I said, man, every day we gotta go to this man. Something they come in here every day and search through everything. I'm tired of putting my place back together again. Search through my room, did the closets, all stuff under the bed. Everything. To make it rough for your family. I know the devil won't tell you to run. You better not do it. Be a man and handle your business. It's a tragedy, people. It is. And my people sitting up here laughing about it? No. Man wrecked his whole life. I'm with you right now. He's on his Facebook page right now. I'm sorry, YouTube channel. Anybody, nothing going to happen to him. Okay? You keep on believing that. Just like you sat there and ran into the processor was going to come and knock on your door. How did that work out? Shocked the daylight out of you, didn't it? Those suckers ain't quiet either. They bang on the bam, 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 bam. Process server. They're loud. I bet you that scared the daylights out of you, didn't it? Mm-hmm. It's coming as far worse. Depends on who shows up. Our process servers or ICE shows up. Somebody's going to show up. That means if you disappear, your YouTube channel, you can't even come up anywhere. You don't be watched. You can't come anywhere. You can't be popping up on YouTube somewhere. The IP will be pinged. You have to go ghost. You ain't getting back across the border. That's definitely not going to happen. Now, when they got military presence out there right now, I don't know what went on over there, but there's a military out there now. I got a lot of friends in Cali. Where's my juice at? I don't know why French fries. McDonald's French fries taste fantastic the next day. Any other French fries, man, it's like you're chewing on cardboard. That was some awful fries. They were good when they were hot. Now, for those of you thinking that, now why would he go in there on this, in this video? Man, it's just messed up, man. I've seen, it just, Fernando, I'm going to tell you, so long as I live on this earth, I will never forget you as long as I live. I won't. I have never seen a human being self-destruct just like that bad. And I lived in some of the worst neighborhoods in North Philly. I was in there talking to a guy. He lived on 33rd Lehigh. He had a big pit bull in the store. Real nice guy, that big dog. I like big pit bulls. He was in there with his dog. And they got to talking and everything. I said, yeah, I'm not. He told me don't be afraid. I'm good. I used to raise pit bulls. So I'm used to being around them all the time. You can pick up on a dog's instinct. Sometimes you can't. But you know, the owner's not going to have a dog that close to you. You know the dog is going to be vicious. It's going to snap at you. The dog's going to muzzle or something on his mouth. You know it's going to attack you. Because again, that's a easy lawsuit. He's ready to go to jail. Nobody wants that crap. Or use their dog, their companion. I can tell the dog was friendly. He's wagging his tail and everything. Got a chance to pet him on. So I used to raise pit bulls. I was up in 33rd Diamond, 5th and Allegheny, Richard Allen Projects. I know all that's some areas down there on the Stomping Holes. 33rd and Diamond, yeah. All that stuff up in there. Strawberry Mansion. North Philadelphia, the heart of it all, in the 80s, when crack first came out. Most brutal, most violent area at that time was Strawberry Mansion. I lived through all that destruction and death. It even cost me 8 years. That's where I got locked up. It cost me 8 years and 9 months of my life messing around over there. But anyway, I've seen all types of people self-destruct. I've seen them die. I've seen them commit suicide. I've seen them get murdered. All kinds of stuff. Making wrong and bad decisions. Here one day, going the next. I've seen people make the worst decisions ever that affected their lives. And some people cost them their lives. Bad decisions. Very bad decisions. You only get one life, that's it. Once it's gone, that's it. No more. You don't come back. To accumulate that much jail time, to commit that many crimes, to think at the end of the day that you were not going to be prosecuted because you were documented, was the dumbest thing you could have ever did. That was the dumbest thing you could have ever did. If you had the opportunity to come here and make a better life for yourself, that's what you should have did. But you thought at the end of the day that you were going to get no consequences for your actions. And look, your actions now are about to catch up to you. The time you have here on this earth is not even yours anymore. It's not ours to begin with, but it's really not yours. Your time is ticking down to when someone's going to pop up on your front door with a badge to come get you. But sooner or later, that's going to hit somebody's desk. Just like when we filed with the CCB. Those documents popped up on the judge's desk, and they sent the information out. Okay, we're ready to go. Get the process served. And we're there. Right there, ready to go. Your consequences are not like somebody doing something misdemeanor and getting out and getting probation. You're not getting any probation. You're not getting any of that. You're getting serious jail time for this mess. You have wrecked your life. You only get one. At the timeline that you're at right now in your age, yeah, in your health condition right now, he doesn't do well with his health. I'm not trying to recruit anything, but he's an overweight guy at the end of the day. A lot of stress on your heart. That brings a lot of stress on your heart at the end of the day. Yeah, it's not gonna go well for him, man. It's not really gonna go well for him. I gotta add you to the book, because there's other people I can talk about in time that I've seen self-destruct. You gotta sit back and just look and shake your head like, wow. Like you only get one chance at that and you mess it up. Pretty sure people did the same thing to me when I was behind bars. Wow, you gotta be kidding me. He's locked up? How much time you gonna give him, man? They talking about giving him like 40 to 80. Man, you only get one. You only get one. Pretty sure they said the same thing about me when I was in there locked up. That's when I realized, you only get one life at the end of the day. You better get it together at the end of the day. Because sitting there in a courtroom watching a bunch of people decide my fate, whether or not I was going to do a 40-year prison, 80-year prison sentence, I had wrecked and destroyed my entire life. And you only get one. And you've already did it already. Because I was 16, but still, yeah, man, 40-year prison sentence. I've been 56. I'd be the same age I am. I'd probably be getting that about right now. It's on 56 right now. Jeez. If I got the 80, oh, man. I'd been 96. I probably would have died by then. I probably did already. No, I wouldn't be dead. I'd be still doing time. I'd still be in there doing time. I still wouldn't be out yet. I wouldn't be out until I was roughly 96. Yeah, I would spend the rest of my life in there. I got a second opportunity. I took it. I took the opportunity, and I took the second opportunity to get saved and become a Christian. I took it. Never looked back after that. You guys are still you're doing the same dumb stuff I did when I was a kid doing dumb stuff. That wrecking your life nonsense. You're doing that stuff. That's why I find it, and I talk about it a lot, because you are basically about to relive my life when I was 16. You're about to go through the same process I did when I was 16, except yours is far worse than mine. You're going to know what it's like to go through the system. All of it, man. You're going to go through all of it. Good gracious. Man, only get one life and destroy it that fast. At least when you're a juvie and you self-destruct at the end of the day, you really don't have nothing to lose at the end of the day. I mean, you do want your freedom. You definitely want that. But you don't have any family. You're not married or none of that stuff. So, you know, when I was going through the system, I didn't have anybody. I just had my family. That was basically about it. But when you're an adult and you go through that mess at the end of the day, man, you got kids and stuff all over your wall, your wife and all that stuff. You know, you don't really see them no more. The depression you go through and everything, it's crushing in there. And the other stuff you see. You'll never forget that about your life. So I think that's the reason why I bring it back, because it kind of touches on a time where I went through that in my life. I haven't thought about those years in a long, long time. Never really thought about them. I moved on and moved forward. But now I think about it more and more and more, about all those people I was locked in there with, and all the things that went on place. Sometimes with some fun days, and sometimes with some really, 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 really bad days. You guys are about to go through that. You don't get away with anything on the earth. I realized that when I was locked in that holding cell. You get away with nothing in life. You don't. You pay for it. Either in this life or the next life you'll pay. You don't get away with anything. Nothing at all. Such a shame. It is. It's a shame. It is a shame. If I had a time machine, I would go back and I would basically point you in a different direction. I would change some course, some way, to keep you from going on the path you just did. So at least you can live the remaining of your time in this world, at least doing something other than what you just did. I know you feel at the end of the day that nothing's going to happen to you. It is going to happen to you. You can't get out of this. I know you sit there and say you think you can. You can't. You have to face this. You're going to go through this process and you're going to face that judge. And for those of you in the back saying, well, yeah, you got a problem. You got Fernando's your problem. Your biggest problem. Because he's going to tell a lot. He's going to tell everything. He's going to get nervous. He's going to get scared. And he's going to start singing like a canary. He's going to tell. And you're already in documents already. They cut him a plea deal, which I don't care at the end of the day. As long as he gets a couple of days in there. If I could, I would have him spend 3 days in there. A week in there. That's enough to scare the crap out of anybody. Days are nothing that'll freak you out. I'll give him a week. That's it. I guarantee you spend this week in a lockup. I guarantee you. You won't get in any more trouble after that. You'll be so happy he'll kiss the cement when he gets out of that place. But unfortunately, you won't get that. I wish I would have got a week. That'd be nice. I didn't get that either. Man. Unbelievable. Yeah, I wish I did. I wish I had a time machine. I'd go back and, before you started that nonsense, point you in another direction. Gentlemen, if you hear me talking like this, you see me celebrating? Oh yeah, they're going to go to jail. They're going to get raped, sodomized, get their throats cut, get stomped out, beat down. Oh, yeah, I ain't saying about the horror. There's horrible stuff that go on in that place. Some really bad stuff that goes on in those places. You will see pure evil at its finest in those places. I wouldn't even begin to tell you half the horror stories and things I've seen. People crying and screaming and all that stuff, man. It's an everyday process. It's a nightmare in there. Especially the noise. The noise is unforgettable. That slamming the doors, the chatter, the screaming. That's when I first came home. I went in the closet and shut the door. No noise, nothing. It's the best sound I've ever heard in my entire life. No No noise. They just sat there in that closet in the dark, smiling, happy. No freaking noise. But anyway, it must be bad that I'm taking no pleasure out of this. At all, period. It's the crushing pain and more of all of losing something you can't see, like your wife and your kids. Something happens to one of them, they end up in the hospital, God forbid, you can't go. You have to stay there. You can't do anything about it. Time will pass you by while you're in there, and you can't do anything about it. You're helpless. Your wife decides to get divorced, marry somebody else, ain't nothing you can do about it. All you can do is just sit there and just deal with it. That's all you can do. She'll come by and visit you. Your visit's everything, man. Visit is everything. Visit's worth more than gold. It's worth more than anything, man. See your people at the end of the day, man, that's the best thing in the world. Never forget those feelings as long as you live. They miss a day, the whole world just crumbles. Go into depression. It's a horrible thing to go through. I went through it a couple of times. My mother couldn't come up to see me because she got sick one time. That was a lot of pain I had to go through. You're going to know what that feels like. It's kind of like you're about to relive my life. You're going to know all the pain and all the suffering I went through. You're going to know it. So, if I'm thinking in the back of my head that I wish I had a time machine to redirect you someplace else, most people, you do treat them the way you treated me, but rejoice to watch you be tormented and tortured. They would get a pleasure out of that, watching you suffer, knowing what you're about to go through. I already experienced it. I went through it myself. I know exactly things that can happen to you in that place, that if you don't have your life together, if you don't get yourself right with God, I know all the evil things that can happen. I've seen it. I've seen people get cut up, stabbed, raped. I've seen it. It's a horrible place to be in. So, that being said, that's when you're going to have to find God. You're going to have to. People take food off your plate, you better do something. And they're going to try you. They're going to try you. They're definitely try you. You're new coming in. You ain't got no connections. You got no tattoos on you. No gang-related, nothing whatsoever. I ain't got no one tattoo on me. Not one. They know I ain't gang-related at all, period. Got no tattoos on me. Not a thing. I got family on the other half that are. But I'm not. I walked in. I had about 6 or 7 people walking over to me. I don't know what their intentions were, but I knew they were walking in my direction until that other half popped up. Walked in front of them. And yeah, they said, no. Guy walked over and looked in my cell. He just stopped and looked in my cell. And they came out and said, "There a problem?" And they said, "Oh, there's no problem over here." They didn't know they were with me. They knew I was with them. That was the end of it. They don't walk past your cell and stare at you. They'll watch you, let you know that you belong to them. If somebody somebody could have put a bid on you, somebody could put some extra money or something, anything. You could be bought and sold in that place. It's a horrible place, man. It's a real bad place. If you ain't got any form of protection, it's a hard place in there. People coming there too friendly, joking and laughing and talking to people, that'll get you killed. Can't be like that in there. Can't be like that. And they'll try you. They'll try you. You're a free meal, extra food for them. Lunchtime come, you're extra food. Somebody walk and take something off your plate. You better beat the daylights out of them. I hate to say it, but you're going to have to throw hands. Because they're going to do it every day. And if they do it, other people are going to jump and they're going to take from you. Next thing you know, you're going to be starving to death because you ain't got no food because they're taking your food from you. So you're going to have to do something. You hit the wrong person, they got tired, you have a good chance you're going to get bad. So get stabbed up and all kinds of stuff can happen to you, man. If you hit the wrong ones, yeah, you're going to have to probably pay for somebody to protect you or something. It can get crazy. Make a mistake, look at somebody the wrong way, they'll take it as a threat. Not the place to be at all, period. People plotting on sodomizing you in the shower, any way can get you. Opportunity. Yep, their opportunity. And if they get you, then what's going to happen is they're going to rent you out. So some people get turned out. People get turned out in prison. Yes, they do. Not a place to be at. Better find your peace with God. You're going to have to face this, gentlemen. This is coming. You're going to have to face this. It is. It's coming. I get people sit there and say people commit heinous crimes, and they say, well, they only got a year. Do you have any idea what can happen in a day in a place like that? You can be killed in a day. It ain't hard to happen. It ain't hard. No, you're thinking a person only got 2 years in there. You can be killed in a day in there. One day. That's all it would take. Yep. Don't take long. Some people get killed the first day they go in. First day in, they get killed. Guy you might have sat next to on a bus might not be there the next day. So it's bad. And the thing about it is, you guys are older. You know better. You're not like kids at the end. Kids should know better. They do. They try to give them a little bit more leniency because they're kids at the end of the day, and they don't want them to basically grow up in the system and become corrupt and whatever. You know, they try to give them the opportunity. It's not certifying them as an adult, but you're an adult committing these crimes. So you're going into a place with some really, really, really interesting individuals. That's where you're going to be going. And one of you have ticked off the same people who protected me when I was in there. You mentioned their names on the YouTube. Remember that? Yeah. You don't want to make waves in a place like that. The thing about it is, people say you keep your head down low and you stay to yourself, but no, you always got somebody watching you. So you can keep your head down and keep quiet to yourself. You're still going to have somebody try to attempt. Yeah, but if I had the opportunity, gentlemen, I would go back in time. If I had a time machine, I would go back and point you in a different direction. I would. Now, I don't want to see anybody go through that. Not even my worst enemy. Not even you, Fernando. I would never want to see you go through the prison system. It's not a place you want to be at. Fortunately, you guys are going to go. The copyrights are no joke. They're very serious crimes, such those things. And he did so much with them things. It's not even funny. All right, well, I'm gonna go out and leave and do what I gotta do. Come back in the next day. It's kind of messed up, guys. Trying to put it away you can understand. I do feel sorry for you. I do. I feel sorry for you. I do. And all the dirt and stuff you did to me, I feel sorry for you. You have no idea what's coming. You really don't. It kind of reminds me about my time that I spent in there. It does. And how grateful I am that I took that opportunity that God gave me. It makes me grateful 100%. Even more makes me more grateful 100% that the Lord got me through that ordeal. Man, that was an ordeal to go through. Time, man. The time. Man, I thought I was never going to get out of there. I thought I was never, ever going to get out of there. Never was going to leave that place. You spend so much time in there, you kind of forget that you're even there sometimes. That's what it feels like, because it feels like home. You've been there that long. That's what it feels like. You've been there that long. You have your good days, you joke and laugh and have fun, play a little basketball here and there, so and so and so. That's all. You have your bad days. Yep. But you guys maybe think about all that stuff. All that stuff. Friends I had in there, you know what I mean? Because when you leave, you go through that whole separation anxiety issue because you have people that you're friends with for like 8, 9 years in there and you don't see them anymore. I remember calling there to talk to certain people. Give my number, they can reach you, contact me so we can talk. Because even though I was out, I still missed the people that were in. Yep. Life is too precious to do dumb stuff like that. You squandered your life. You didn't appreciate your life. That's what happened was. You didn't appreciate it. If you had spent some time in the lockup and went through stuff that I went through, I guarantee you wouldn't have did half that stuff. You wouldn't did any of the stuff you did. None of it. You'd appreciated every second of it all. That's why I said people have never been on that side of the fence before. If you're thinking about it, don't do it. Just don't. Trust me, don't do it. It's the worst thing you will ever do. I don't know what's the worst, man. The fact that, or the being in the courtroom was really awful. I hated that so much. Because your nerves would be through the roof, man. Your heart race at 100 miles an hour. You can barely swallow. You might think they drink a lot of water. That cotton mouth ain't no joke when you're in there. Because again, your nerves are through the roof. The legs are constantly shaking. You're deciding your feet what they're going to do to you. And then they're bringing up charges that you know darn well you're guilty of doing. And to hear a judge read them off, it's just, oh my goodness, man. That's it, my life is over. I'm going to be here forever. I'm going to be here forever. I'm never going to be to leave. It's weird. It's a weird feeling because it's like you want to go to court because you want to, it's the only way you can get out, the only way you can be free. But in a way you don't want to go to court because this could send you back and you can end up doing more time. It's like a happy but depressing feeling at the same time. And then the anxious that kicks in, the anxieties that trigger off because you're in this holding cell and you're waiting for your number to come up and you're waiting for your number to come up. And then when your number does come up and then you're scared to death because you don't know what they're going to do, what's going to happen to you, how your fate's going to be decided. Man, it is a roller coaster of anxieties that you don't ever want to experience that ever. Never want to experience that ever. You'd be so glad, when it's over, you'd be so glad just to get the freak out of there and go back to your bunk. Just happy to be back. Happy to leave, because then you get a chance to see a little bit of the outside world, because that's nice. But then, man, I remember that too, man. That brings back a lot of crazy memories, man. My courthouse that I had to go to was downtown. Downtown. I remember walking on that same block, that same strip, every single day to go down to South Street and chill with my friends. And here I'm in one of these buses at the end of the day, shackled up. To go into this building to decide my fate. When they take you out in those shackles, some of them would have it where they would when they bring you in, and they bring the door down. So they're not going to shack you and walk you in. No, that's too dangerous. They're basically going to bring the truck in, and then sometimes the door will be open a little bit before they bring it down, and you're in there, and you can see a little bit of that outside world, and you just think to yourself, like, man, I used to walk this whole place downtown. I used to be here, I used to go there. I remember going to eating there. It's like watching, it's kind of like if you ever played Sniper, and when they would you give up your location, it would show a shadow of yourself where you used to be at. That's what it feels like. Like I remember eating there and having something to eat there, and I remember buying my sneakers from over there, and I remember catching the bus over. What I wouldn't give right now to be out there sitting there catching that bus. Or just to be able to just walk down that street again. But I can't. Because I'm sitting in this bus right here shackled up. I'm locked up. That's a painful feeling right there. An area, a sidewalk, piece of sidewalk that you must have walked over 100,000 times. But this time when you walk over it, you're in shackles. You're a free man when you walked over it over 1,000 times. This time you're not. It's a different story. You shut that gate behind you and you move forward. Sit in those holding cells, wait for your time to come up. Sit down and watch all these people in front of you. Everybody's got nice suits on and looking at the judge, hoping the judge will have some mercy on you. Hopefully you can go home today. That'd be nice to go home today, but you know you're not going home. You look out the window and see the trees and the birds, and you just wish you can just be one of those birds, just be to fly away and never come back. You want that nightmare to end. I have windows, high windows, that I can look out and see the birds. And they were giving my court case, I was staring at the birds. I wanted to just morph into a bird and fly away. Put all this behind me, but I couldn't. I had to face what I did. I had to pay my time off. Told me that they were trying to certify me as an adult. I told you, but my mom prayed and said the day wasn't going to work. That I was going to do time, but he wasn't going to get what he was going to get. The Lord was taking care of it. And I watched that whole thing just happen right in front of me. I watched him try to certify me multiple times. I spent my 18th birthday from getting certified. That's how I spent my 18th birthday. Most people spend their 18th birthday, become a man, and they go out and have some fun and do some adult things at the end of the day, and I spent mine in lockup to keep from me being certified as an adult. Now, for some people sitting there can't add it up and can't figure out, like, well, wait a minute. If you weren't certified as an adult, how did you end up in a prison? Yeah, my case was a little different. Because my crimes were a little different. I can't tell you exactly where I was at and what facility I was in, but it was a different facility. It was definitely a different facility. It was for juveniles. It was for juveniles that committed very serious crimes. Very, very serious crimes. Now, regular juvenile detention center felt like basically, yeah, it was a prison system for like juveniles. It was a different facility, a much different facility. Definitely. And that's where they put me at for the remainder of my time. Yep. I was shocked to be in that place. It was something else. But anyway, that's where they stuck me at. I ain't going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about where it was at and at the end of the day, but I know one thing. It wasn't like any juvenile facility I've ever been in before. Ever. You were in shackles all the time. I was in shackles, coming in and out, being transferred from here to there. Kind of a Hannibal Lecter kind of feeling at the end of the day. You were in there with some really psychotic individuals. And yeah, so you were in there too. Their charges are weak. Some of them are going to die there. They're going to die there. They're not getting out, ever. I met a few people that were going to die there and never get out. That was it for them. At least I had some hope that when I finish my time, my 10 years, I can go. But they were going to die there. They did some really mass murders, stuff like that. Real heinous, horrible crimes. Torture, all kinds of stuff. Decapitation. Yeah, people will tell you about what they did. They'll share that with you. I heard enough. It's like being in a 24-hour Stephen King novel. It really was. I heard some crazy stuff at the end of the day. Yeah, because the first thing you asked was, hey, what you were in here for? And one thing you should never say at the end of the day, because they will tell you. They will tell you. Some ones won't tell you. Some will tell you. Gee, what the police really? I didn't know where to put the rest of the bodies. I took a chainsaw to it. Shawa. Yeah. Arson, murder, and decapitation. One of the guys had that. Kill somebody in the house. Didn't know how to get the body out of the house. Took a chainsaw. Of course, you got DNA everywhere. And he set the house on fire. Yeah. He's never getting out. He's going to die in that place. Still there to this day if he's still alive. Yep. And gee, please. Really? Yeah, if you think you're crazy, you'll figure out you won't be crazy. When you're in a place like that, people start telling about this story. Oh my goodness, man. Whew. So, there's all that with that and all that and everything. But anyway, I got free. I went home. That's why, if I had a time machine, gentlemen, I would point you in a different direction. I would. And that's why I talk about it sometimes. It just reminds me of basically at the end of the day, you're about to live the life that I lived when I was young at 16. You're about to go through that. Except the difference is that I didn't start off in an adult prison. You are going to start off in an adult prison. I try to track that place down. It's gone. It's not there anymore. Nope. The state stopped funding it. It went under. There's no building. There's nothing there. It's gone. I mean, as you say, it's a pretty crazy part of my life, but still, I would like to see a building, something there. It's not there. And if you think at the end of the day trying to track my records now, yeah, good luck with that. My records were blacked. Lord made sure that when I came out of that ordeal, that I came out with a new life. I can't even find them. I got people at the end of the day that are really high-end, great, certified. I hate to say the word, they're hackers. Now, they work for security firms and stuff like that. They're not people out there taking people's identities. They work for security firms and stuff like that. They find bugs and all kinds of problems and stuff like that. You know, I wouldn't hang around with someone that's going out there and taking someone's identity. I don't hang with people like that. Mind you, I went through a really bad ordeal in my life. I keep myself far away from people that are doing negative things, and I keep myself surrounded with positive people. But they do, pretty much most people that build machines today do that kind of stuff. In programming and coding, they can do that, the capability. But I like to be around people that are doing something fun with it. Like doing some crazy modding with it or something like that with it, or rewriting the operating system to Windows XP so I can have a pirate on the side of my PC or something like that. Stuff like that. People do something pretty cool with it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I hired them to find my records. They can't find them. It's like they blacked them out like the military. Can't find them. And I think if you were to find them and dig them up, you would dig up some pretty, not saying bad things that I've done, but you don't want to be tied in with the people that probably were responsible for blacking out those files. Because you're working with some very interesting people that are involved in blacking out my files. Yep. I'm going to show up anywhere. Not at all. But yeah, I have no problem telling people what happened to me, because that's how I got saved. That's how I became a Christian. That's how I found God. I went through the system. That's how I found Him. Most people that get out, I'm not saying most people, some people that get out, they say when I get out, when they get baptized, and they don't. They slide off, they go hang around the devil and do dumb stuff again and then they end up right back in there. Nope, I had enough. That was enough for me. Freaking 8 years and 9 months of my life, I'm never ever going to get back. I'm done. I'm done with all that. I don't want to see these people no more I do business with. I'm with nothing. I'm done. I'm a changed man. I'm finished. I had no desire for it to be around them anyway. I got baptized on my first Sunday. I couldn't wait to get out of there, man. I seen sides of the devil, man, I never want to see again. And even when I got out and I spent the 2 months in there where demons were basically walking up to me and having, oh man, that was a scary freaking 2 months of my life. And once in a while, I haven't seen one in a while. I don't want to see anymore. I don't want to see anymore. I don't. I really don't. I don't. Nope. I understood the assignment 100%. I'm good, Jesus. I don't want to see nothing like that ever again. And the Lord had to show me at the end of the day, don't go down that road. As a matter of fact, I never forget the few days when I was out, I was on the porch. And this woman came out of nowhere. She just walked right up on the porch. She wasn't a dude, she's an angel. She walked right up on the porch. And she walked right to my mom and said, let him know that if he gets in trouble again, the Lord may not be there for him. Yeah? And walked right up the porch and walked away. We never saw her before. Never seen anybody. You live in the hood, you know everybody's face at the end of the day. Never seen this woman ever. She just came right up on the porch, right to my mom. Well, mom was on the front. Mom's a Christian woman. She's a strong woman. She don't fear that. But she already knew what she was. She looked around and said, "You heard that? Did you hear that?" And I said, "I heard it. I heard it loud and clear." Okay, then. You heard it. I heard it. Yep. Morning. And then after that time, about 2 months after that, that's when I started seeing them. Lord showing me at the end of the day what my enemy looks like. What's hunting me, what's trying to make me fall, what's trying to destroy me. He let me see it. Scared the daylights out of me. For 2 months, I think 2 or 3 months, scared the daylights out of me. Good gracious, I was afraid to go out at night sometimes. I was terrified. But I got an understanding of it. I know exactly what my enemy looks like. What time we got? Oh my goodness, bird. Oh, guts. 11:50. Alright, we gotta crack it out of of here. Yeah, everything in Left 4 Dead Vegas. That was fun yesterday. That was fun. I downloaded it on the system over here on my trusty PS4, which I'm about to modify tomorrow. Modifications for the PS4. Wait. I need paints to make the system glow in the dark. It ain't gonna be there on time too. We took the modifications of cutting that thing off tomorrow and cut it open tomorrow. We gotta cut the peekaboo windows in. So wait a minute, let me see. The inside, we got the outside going in black. No. The outside going to be, I can keep some of that black on there. But it's going to be sky blue, like a kind of a dark sky blue, and high fluorescent yellow. And the inside for the parts, I want to make pink. Pink. Some pink, definitely yellow. Some yellow and blue and pink. Some traces of white in there. Maybe a little bit of shot of green, just a little bit. So that's going to glow in the dark. We got a black lighter too. Okay, well, I got to get cracking on that because I got to take apart the unit tomorrow, and I got orders to go on to England. One day I'll get a chance to go to England. One day. Ugh. But they're going to hit the crossroads pretty soon. Hopefully they make a decision to serve God. It would be nice to see them become the Christian brothers. It would be nice. You know, people like Fernando, at the end of the day, if they take God's calling, they become God's strongest warriors. They do. The ones that defy the most become very strong warriors. And they're the ones who basically have testimonies to speak about. The very testimonies at the end of the day is what strengthens others at the end of the day. Yeah. So who knows? He could take that calling and the Lord comes to him. And anything could happen. We're looking at a person who's supposed to do 48 years of his life in prison. Like a 10-year prison charge after all that stuff, and some destructive stuff. After all that stuff, yeah. Freaking only 10 years. Yeah. Protecting me the entire time. Went in there and got my life together. Found God. I was even preaching about the Lord when I was in there. Yeah. The devil came to me a few times. They're upset, bitter, and angry. He couldn't touch me. I know what he was. Yeah. So he took somebody at the end of the day that hated God, couldn't stand his Christians at the end of the day, and made me a Christian at the end of the day. Strong believer of the Lord. So anything could happen. These guys can get saved and find God. Shannon turned into a priest. One of the worst kids in the neighborhood. The worst kids in the neighborhood. Really thought someone was going to kill him. I really did. But nope. He became a preacher. He's a man of God now. So yeah, it's possible. They can be saved and find the Lord, and the Lord can use them. And they can give out those testimonies right there. Those sins they committed will come. The very testimonies are basically on ushering Christians to find Christ. Yep. But you got to take it. When Jesus comes over to hand you over that cross, you got to pick it up and take it and walk with him. If you set it down, you're in a lot of trouble. You know what I mean? Some people pick up their cross and they'll follow Jesus, but they'll set down that cross and they'll be so far out, it's hard for them to get back and find that cross. You got a penny in your hand, you know where it's at, right? Put it in your pocket, you know where it's at, right? Take that penny and you throw it out in the middle of the field. It's going to be very hard to find that penny. It may take you forever to find that penny. So you want to keep that penny as close to you as you possibly can. Keep it where you can be at it at all times. You never lose it. It's always by your side. That's what you want to do. I hope they get saved in this ordeal if they find God. Gentlemen, I want you to know, I don't hate you. I'm not going to have any joy in what's about to happen to you at all, period. A part of me does want to see Fernando in court. I do. Because you need to answer for what you've done. You've done some very evil, heinous things. You have. Some very evil things. And the Lord knows everything you've done. Everything you have done has been written in the book of life. Everything. Nothing's forgotten. Even the things you forget are remembered. Either you guys get your act together, or like I said, whatever has basically told you to do what you do will come to collect what belongs to it. It has invested time into you, and it wants what belongs to it. So you remember that. You can't harm me at the end of the day. That doesn't harm me. When I see stuff like that, it's sad. When I see you slander my face and all that, that doesn't make me angry. It's sad because I know who you follow. I know what's coming for you. I know what's watching you. I'm just waiting to collect. I also know that the time that you have on this earth is not your own either. You're not guaranteed to wake up tomorrow. If I don't wake up tomorrow, I know where I'm going. You know where you're going when you don't wake up tomorrow. Another question there. And wherever you're going, it's going to be eternity. It's going to be forever. Whether you'll be in paradise or where you'll suffer. And then here on man's earth, you have things you have to face pretty soon. You gotta get your act together. Should I put the trace in to cut this? No, I'm going to put the trace in to cut this out. When you sat there and said, well, you said yeah, you guys do technically work for me. You're advertising for me. At the end of the day, you do. You advertise. There's no question about that. Now, if I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, and I was everything you said that I was, and had no test demonstrations and all that stuff, and I was this big phony and fake, and I couldn't back anything up, first things first, why in the world would I be in here to begin with if I can't back up my stuff? That'd just be some waste of money. But anyway, you know, I do rent here. You know that, right? Yeah. So anyway, with that being said, you know, I rent a storage unit out. My storage unit is 10 by 30 feet. I think it costs me $300 a month to rent those units out. My crib is $700. I pay $400 here. So, you know, wouldn't it be worth my time? My websites alone are like $60 a piece for my websites. I got 3 of them now. I pay for that. And all the stuff I got to pay for around here on top of that. So, that'd be the dumbest thing ever, be wasting money. But anyway. So, nah. Well, you wasted your time. My time, I put in to invest, to make money. And your time you wasted at the end of the day trying to destroy me, was spinning it up, giving you a lengthy jail sentence, which you're probably going to get out of this mess, and lawsuits. On top of that, consider the fact that you got nothing to show for it. Nothing. You know what I mean? Waste of time. Could have took all that time you wasted in this, doing that nonsense, that got you in the situation you're at, and did something positive with it. And you're still going to have to answer for it. Whether here or man's here, in this world, or in the next world, you're going to answer for it. Where the heck is my freaking air machine at? That does get hot in here. Got to answer for it. There's no way to get out of it. No way. Right there, right top. No way to get out of it. No way. Nope. No way to get out of it. Every thought, every dirty act, everything you do is written in the book of life. If you're not baptized, your sins do not get washed away. They stay there for judgment day. Christians, we make mistakes. We sin. We ask for forgiveness. You have to be sincere in your heart to ask for forgiveness. You can't do things and not be sorry for what you've done. Like I said, it's like the equivalent of somebody punching you in the face and going, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to punch you in the face." But they hit you the next day, and the day after that, and the day after that. But truly, you're not sorry because they keep doing it. And you can't be forgiven for that. God can't forgive you for that at all, period. Because you're not sincerely sorry. You have to be sorry for what you've done. And you have to work as hard as you can to keep from committing that sin. It's a constant process of trying to keep from sinning when you know you're living in a body that's cursed, that will sin. You can't use the excuse by saying, "Well, my body's cursed, I'm going to sin, and what am I supposed to do?" No, you try your hardest not to do that. You know the difference between right and wrong. Your body's cursed and sinned. I mean, you go and you rob a bank at the end of the day. You know the difference between the two and consequences behind that. But God, Lord's going to forgive you for your sins. That's why Jesus died on the cross, for you to be forgiven. But those are forgiven are those who are basically, at the end of the day, and I do believe that those who have basically accepted Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior and have gotten baptized and their sins are no more. Now, there's a number of things people don't want to accept that's in the Bible. One of the things people don't want to accept in the Bible is the marriage. They don't want to accept that. I got a family member just got married. And they were already married already. They sinned. They're Christians. They should know better than this. You can't do that. And then people will twist up the Bible for their own pleasures at the end of the day, what they want to do. You know how dangerous that is at the end of the day? That's very dangerous. That's scary dangerous. Especially when you know what's out there trying to kill you every day. You need him to protect you from that. And yet you're going to basically go against his word every chance you get because you want to do what you want to do, but yet you got something out there that's trying to murder you every single day. And you need him, the Lord, to keep you away from that, to keep that from trying to get his hands on you. The devil trying to kill you every day. Every day. And I'm baffled by this. I didn't watch the wedding. We did it live. I didn't watch any of it. I can't give you my blessings. I can't give you that. You can't do that. You know, if you read the Bible, and you read in Matthew where the Pharisees were trying to challenge Jesus. They were trying to trip him up to make him seem like he didn't know what he was talking about because they were jealous of Jesus because the people loved Jesus and they followed Jesus. And they weren't following them because they were ripping the people off and saying that, we'll pray for you. Because when they come off, they were like these great apostles, men of the cloth. And they want to come off like, "Hey, look, you paid me money, you give me this, you give me favors in the day, and I'll pray for you." They didn't like that because they were losing money. And everybody was following Jesus. Jesus was the real deal. How much they probably asked him, "What kind of magic are you using?" I'm like, "Magic? I'm God. I made you." But he never said that. He never did. He was humble as humble can be. He never sat there and said, "Do you know who I am at the end of the day? I made you." He never said that at all, period. Humble as humble can be. I wish I could be like that. That's the goal, man, to be more like Jesus. Man, I want to be so close to Jesus. I don't be Jesus, but I want to be like him. Man, that strive to be perfection, to be more like him. It's a hard thing to do because your body's cursed like this. But one day, I'll get my wish. I'll go to heaven. I'll get my body without sin, and then I can serve God 100% without sin. That is the ultimate dream right there of being when you go to heaven. When I go to heaven, I'm happy to see my loved ones have passed on an hour with God. But man, more than that, is to serve the Lord 100% without sin. That's amazing. Yeah, it'd be amazing. One day I won't have that opportunity. I saw people talking about, "Oh, but heaven's got gold and jewelry." I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that. I want to be to serve God 100% without sin. That's what I want. That's my happiness right there. Man. Yeah. That's my goal. Is to come close to God. More and more and more. Get as close as I possibly can. Yeah. People out here not doing things right. But that marriage, people get mad at me about that. Get angry about me about that. You don't know what you're talking about. You read it wrong. It's incorrect. It's right there, crystal clear. It's just like what it is. If you if you marry, you're married in two ways. You're married in man's law and God's law. People get married in the church. Why? Because you want to be blessed by God. You want God to bless your marriage, right? To death do you part. What does that mean? To death do you part. The only way your contract is broken is one of you passes off this earth. Then that contract is broken. A widow can marry again. Husband, a wife is gone. So they can remarry. Now God is real serious about marriage. It's a very serious thing to him. It really is. So if you have married someone while your spouse is still alive, you have committed adultery. You have committed a sin against God. And what I saw in that marriage was a sin against God. Because my family member was already married already, and the person's still alive. And they use excuses, well, he used to beat on me. I understand all that. I understand all that. Then you get divorced, you separate from that person, but you cannot technically marry someone if you've already been married. Under man's law, you divorce and marry anytime you want, as much as you want. Now, under God's law, you can't. You know, if this was that happening in Old Testament, you know what had happened to you? They'd have stuck you in the pit. They'd have stoned you to death. It's a sin. People would have done that to you because they don't want to be cursed. They don't want to be smite by God. They want God coming down and destroying their cities and whatever for committing sin. No, God did not play around. He did not play around at all, period. The people would basically throw you in that pit and stone you to death because you're the bomb. You can't do that. No. I don't even talk. Women that I talk to and they said, well, you know, I was married. I asked them, you ever been married? And they said, yes. End the conversation. We're friends. That's it. That's all we can ever be as friends. That's it. I won't touch you with a 10-foot pole. Nope. We were friends. That's it. That's it. Nope. I don't cross that line. I've messed up in ways I've had. I'm not perfect and I never will be. But that is one line I would never, ever cross. I won't do it. I asked them right from the door, you've been married. The minute they tell me you've been married, can't touch them. Can't go near them. I can't. We can be friends. It's as far as it goes. It's where I ever go. I don't care how good looking you are. I don't care how much money you make. Don't make a difference to me. My Lord comes first. When you go through an ordeal that I went through, of basically fighting against the Lord on every single turn and corner, and then go through that ordeal at the end of the day, where your life could have been easily snuffed out, and the Lord came in and protected you, took care of you, and allowed you to get through that ordeal to bring you back on top, and then turn around, find out when you read the Bible that his son came down here and went through all that torment and pain for me, a person who denied him from the door, a person who cursed him from the door, a person who threatened his people from the door, a person who thought he was big and bad and this, that, and the other, and that was all this nonsense. A person like that who committed the crimes that I have committed, and you mean to tell me that person died on a cross? You went through all that pain for me when I was out there doing that dumb stuff at the end of the day, and you still had the mercy to turn around and save me and make me the man I am today? I owe you for life. I'm not ever, will ever commit that sin. There's sins I have committed, but I'll work my hardest every single day to serve my Lord. Everywhere I possibly can to do it right. I may fall 100,000 times. I will get back up and I'll do it again, and I'll try even better each time. I will have everything. That's why when people do these hatred acts toward me, you can't break me. You can't break me. You can't destroy me. You can't. My bond, me and God, is much stronger than you will ever have in your entire life. You can't break me. You can't take anything from me, not a thing. My Lord gave me so much. He gave me my life back. When you get your life back, like I went through at the end of the day, you realize at the end of the day that there's nothing the devil can take from you. Not a thing.
He gave me something more, way worth more than all this stuff at the end of the day. More than his paint, something more, way more than that. He gave me my life back twice. He allowed me to be a free man, and he gave me salvation to go to heaven, to see his face. Saved me twice. And I couldn't have mentioned the countless times, beyond countless, infinity times. I can't even think of how many times he saved me in between all those times. So, if you think at the end of the day that your actions are going to cause, no, I mean, you don't even come close. Don't even come close, period. Nope. I see your actions as trials and tribulations to make me stronger against the devil. That's what I see it as. A learning experience of God teaching me patience, how to become stronger against the devil, how to avoid his temptations. The devil says, hey, look, you just go and take care of yourself. You're trained with firearms and weapons. Just pop them in and take them out. You got friends at the end of the day that can track people. Get one of them. They'll figure out where they're at. Go take care of them. I don't listen to that voice. That voice doesn't exist in my world. I don't entertain the devil because I know what you look like. I've seen your demons. I've seen the chaos and nonsense you caused for me when I went through there in the streets. I've seen why you took time from me, how you tried to destroy me, how you tried to kill me. I've seen all of that. So, no thank you. I give it to God. Just like Mr. Buddy, you're sitting in the Bible right now. You're sitting in God's hands. That would be a good idea. See, this is the reason why we need to get a bigger warehouse, a bigger place up in the day. Come on, now I'm going to build a GTA. When is GTA 6 coming out, by the way? Is that even coming out? If it is coming out. Curious. What the minimum requires for this? Matter of fact, I'm taking some other screen in. Get out my testing here. We've seen all we can see. There. That's my air cleaner. It's still one piece in there. I dropped it a couple of times. It's glad it didn't happen in the morning. And people work underneath them. Let me get you. I go there. How did you fall off? Air cleaner. Let's see. I think everything's situated and what I need here. I like to have everything in order to come back today. Strangers tonight, exchanging glances. I got two on this one. It's right there. Yep. Pretty soon. Let me see. What am I missing? I'm missing something. Oh, it's right there. Get back to work. Now, am I going to delete this video? Yeah, not really. I'm going to leave it there. You know, hopefully somebody will watch it and, you know, get some spiritual knowledge out of that. That's what they'll get something out of. And I'll tell you, think about the times where I ignored the man on the corner that was calling out to me. Ignored him. Ignored him. Right over there by, what was it? I can't think of that place. Where was it at? The man to go out there and preach. The man's go out there and preach about the Lord. Wyoming. This is where the subway stops. Wyoming. A man used to go out there and preach about the Lord.
Is to warn people, tell them that the Lord is coming. That get yourself saved. Get close with the Lord. The Lord's coming. The Lord's coming. And he would go out there and he'd preach. And I'd be out there with my headsets on, listening to my music. And I would ignore him. I'd turn my music up because I didn't want to hear what he had to say. It's kind of like I was trying to hide from what he was trying to say. I knew what he was saying was true. Because I grew up in a Christian household. So I knew what he was saying was true, but I wanted to ignore it. You know, because I want to live my life. I want to be out there doing the dumb stuff that I was doing. I wanted to live my life. And I didn't want to hear what he had to say, you know. Making me depressed. Thinking about the revelations and Lord coming back and all that stuff. I didn't want to hear that stuff. I didn't want to talk about Jesus. I was more concerned about getting a new pair of sneakers and, you know, some gear and stuff like that, and game systems and all that stuff. I didn't want to hear about that. It was making me depressed. Thinking about all that, the Lord coming back and all that destruction. As if I wasn't saved, I didn't want to think about it. I wanted to live my life. That's what I wanted to do. And he was out there calling. Every day I go out there and wait for the bus. He's out there calling to me. And I take my headsets off and hear what he's got to say, but I just turn my music and block him out. Now, I'm glad I heard the calling. Hopefully, they hear it too. Note to self, didn't eat cold French fries at night. Bad idea. Fire up. I know I got it charging you. Did I not charge you? What are you charging for anyway? Oh, you're not even in there for the charge. Duh. Let me see what I got here. One battery, two batteries. No, they got to charge up. So isn't that quick charge? That battery's a quick charge in there. Oh. I don't have any hatred for anybody. I don't. That's a fantastic feeling, you know that? To have people who hate you and you don't hate them. That's a beautiful feeling, it is. Satan got no power. That's what I love about it. He got no power. No power. God is amazing. I used to have so much hatred for people. So much hatred for people. So much hatred. Now, nothing. At all. I don't even hate the people who try to commit crimes against me, who try to destroy me. Every day I don't hate them either. Nope. I have to do what I have to do. That's why I prayed on it, because I want to make sure what I'm doing when I have to follow these charges and everything I have to do. I have to do it because these people attack me. They want to make it look like, oh, he's a racist. He's that. No, I don't give me no choice. I got to protect myself. I can't allow you to come and attack my friends and family like that and do the evil things you guys have been doing. I got to stand up for myself. I can't let people walk over top me. But if I do this out of anger, if I do this out of hatred, if I do this with the fact that I know because I went through the system and I know what you're going to go through, if I get an enjoyment and fulfillment out of this, then I'm working with the devil. I pray and ask the Lord to take any anger or any hatred out of my heart and to do this in a way that has to be done, that we're doing things right to the Lord, to the eyes of God, and we're doing things correctly the way they should be done. Nothing should ever be done out of hatred. I'm doing what I had to do because you attacked me, and I had to defend myself, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in a courtroom and do what has to be done. You can take it by saying that he's doing that out of hatred. There's no revenge in this. You attacked me, and I'm defending my company, I'm defending my family, I'm defending my friends, heck, I'm even defending my cat. You would openly attack me. So when we go to court, you will talk to a judge, and a judge will look over the things you have done to me and see that you have committed heavy crimes against me, and you will face what you have to face. Just like when I got myself in trouble, did you ever hear me once on camera blame anybody else? No. I blame myself because I went out and did that dumb stuff at the end of the day, and I deserved everything that just happened to me. And I took it like a man, did my time, and here I am today. So you got no one to blame but you, because you did it. And I'm doing what I have to do. So you can call me whatever you want to call me. I'm doing what I had to do. I could easily do this the devil's way. Not hard to do. It's very hard, easy to get in trouble, hard to get out of it. A friend used to say it all the time. Think I'm a helpless person at the end of the day? That I grew up, like I said, I grew up in some very bad lands, and I know some people. I know some very interesting people. And these are people I stay far away from, because until they get their acts together, they find the Lord, then I'll be involved with their lives again. But until then, no. But I know people. And I can make phone calls. I have contacts. I have people owe me a lot of favors for a lot of things that I have done. And I can literally make a call and get it taken care of. But if I do that, then I go back into the world of Satan. And I don't want anything to do with that world ever again. I want to be as far away from those people until they get their acts together with the Lord. From time to time I talk to them and say, you got to find God, got to leave it all alone, find God, get close with Jesus. That person died a long time ago. If I was the same person at 16 years old or 17 or 18, we'd have not been having this conversation on YouTube at all, period. I would be in jail for murder. That's literally what would have happened. Because I knew what type of person I was. I know how much Satan had his claws in me, pushing me and pushing me and pushing me to be an even worse person I could ever be. So I knew from the door that I would probably be in jail for murder. I am not that person anymore. That person died a long time ago. When I went through this system, when I picked up that Bible and I read from that book, my life changed. It changed every day I read it. It brought me so much comfort. It's brought me so much peacefulness that allowed me for my life to just see things differently. It took away all the hatred, all the anger that I had for other people. It gave me peace. And the more I read it, the more calm, more peace, more relaxed I became. I wanted to know everything there was about Jesus, everything. I was so fascinated. And I'm still fascinated to this day when everything about Jesus, when everything about God. And I didn't even read I didn't read the Bible yet. I was reading through Psalms. I was learning about Psalms in the Bible. And that's what my mom started me off on Psalms, because I wasn't ready for the rest of the book yet. Later on, I started reading the book, because I was just so fascinated by God. I wanted to know everything about it. And I started reading the book, and the more and more, wow, how amazing, how beautiful God is and all that he has done. And that's what I was locked in for life. My biggest thing when I got out of the lockup was to become baptized. Because I knew the devil was coming after me. I knew he was coming after me again. He came after me many times and he was going to come after me again. And I needed to be saved. I needed to be saved. I need to be saved so badly. Even though I have accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, I wanted all my sins to be washed away. I need to be baptized. I got baptized first Sunday I got out. Yep, locked into Jesus for life. And this whole ordeal that I went through with these individuals taught me a lot about myself at the end of the day, that will never be that person ever again. That even though these people came out and attacked my family and friends and did what they did, if this was when I was 16 or 17 or 18, you would have been gone. I'm not the biggest, baddest person in the world. No, not anything like that whatsoever. But at that time and that stage in my life, I wasn't afraid of death. If I was going to go, you were coming with me. That's the kind of person I was. So it didn't make a difference. Didn't make a difference who you knew, who you were connected. I didn't care. That means I'd have came right through your front door and did what I had to do. And that was it. And if it meant at the end of the day, if I had to go, I'd put the gun in my mouth and take my life. Or take out as many people as I possibly can. They would have to kill me in the process to take me down. I was literally that insane with that madness and hatred in my life. Made me extremely suicidal. I was hoping that when I was in those corners carrying on and acting up, somebody would come by and kill me. Just hoping. Put me out of my misery.
Because I suffered every single day with the devil clawing at me. The hatred, the pain, the anger, every single day. The depression was unbelievable. And I prayed that when I was on that corner that maybe somebody may shoot me, may kill me, may hit me with a car or something. And with that, I became extremely violent because I had no fear of death. Because I was waiting to die. I remember getting in an argument with a guy one time, and I told him he had 5 days to kill me. If he didn't kill me 5 days, I was going to wipe his family out. I pushed him every day to try to get him to kill me. You're going to kill me. You're definitely going to do it. I'm going to ruin your life, I'm going to ruin mine at the same time. You're going to definitely do it. You don't got no choice, no way around it. And somehow he just disappeared. I never saw him again. Some things happened that way because it was meant to be. But the devil was pushing me. Go and threaten him. Go out and threaten him. Yeah, to make me kill. Yep, and he disappeared. He left and he disappeared. Not because of that. The Lord probably put him someplace else so the devil wouldn't have anything else to use to try to kill me. I was extremely suicide. Yep. Really, really bad situation. Real bad situation. So if you had just said one thing about me, it's just been an email, anything, I'd have came and got you. This would have been my opportunity to end it, to get it out of the way, to don't wake up and be this person the next day. You know, I had to come back with that pain and destruction, things I did. I had to come back with all that torment with me. And the devil kept pushing me and torment. Look at the things you do. How could God ever love anything like you? You're an evil human being at the end of the day. And he was making me do these things, and I was doing these things, and coming back and putting me through depression. You're not even human anymore. You're worthy of death. Nobody wants you. You're better off dead. And I believe that. So I became a very suicidal, reckless human being. No fear of death. It wasn't fear of death because I thought it was big and bad. It's no fear of death because I was ready to die because I was tired of it. I was tired of life. If somebody kill me, get it over and done with. I'm tired of it. I don't want to live this life no more. I'm tired of it. But every day I get up and do the same dumb nonsense every freaking day. Yep. So this has been what I've gone through in life. What I've gone through in that apartment. Oh, man, my goodness. Has allowed me to see that I have changed. I am not that person anymore. That person is gone forever. Now they look at it and go, oh, he wants people to fear him. I never said that. Nobody got to fear me in one way whatsoever. Nothing at all, period. I'm just telling you what I was. I didn't have a fear of death. I was hoping to die. I was hoping to get it over and done with. I can't think of the crazy countless stuff I did. I had a revolver. I remember putting one bullet and squeezing the trigger over and over and over again in front of this guy, letting him know I didn't fear death. Go with it 4 or 5 times and then suck it to his head. Yeah. Hoping to die. Wasn't happy about my life. Wasn't happy how I treated my mother, my family. I was depressed all the time. So no, I already been down that road. I lived that life already. And when the suicide walk on, I did that too. All that, everything. So I'm done with that life. I'm done. I got my new life. I got my new start. No one's going to ever push me to the point where I lose my temper, where I basically go out and become that person ever again. That person died. The day that I picked up that book, that person died. And the devil knew that person was going to die when he made that statement about that book wasn't going to help me out anymore. That monitor flush it down the toilet, that book can't help you. He knew that was what was going to happen. He knew I was going to change. That book was going to change me. When I got baptized, I feel like a new person. All my sins, everything gone. Completely gone. No more. Free man. Finally free. Happy. No thoughts of suicide, nothing. Not a thing. No hatred for anybody, nothing. And imagine the trials and tribulations I had to go through of having these individuals attack me and attack my family, and I was able to get through all that without becoming that person. Makes me the happiest person on the face of the planet. I thank my Lord for putting me through those trials. But keep in mind, because I had to go through these trials, doesn't mean at the end of the day that you'll come out unscathed. Because you did attack a Christian at the end of the day, and you have to answer for that. whether it be in this life or the next life. You will answer. The thing about it is that you need to get your act together and find God. That's what you need to do. I wish I could find me another $40 projector so badly. My Lord, get me one. He'll get me one. I've been trying to get. I wanted another $40 projector. Oh, which one am I on? Oh, you found it. New, about time. I loaded it up, a whole bunch of new litter for him. Brand new litter. He's in there fighting with it right now. His new litter. Oh, a thunderstorm. Yep. I don't hate you for you guys. I don't give the devil that satisfaction. I already know what I had to deal with him already. I've been through all that craziness already. There's nothing you can do. You can't take anything from me at all, period. I'm a happy man. Every day I'm a happy man. God gave me my life back. God gave me my salvation. I don't have to go through that nonsense. I'm a free man. I can't believe I even went through all of that and still walked out a free man. I mean, not all through that. I mean, yeah, I hurt some people, and I did. And I had to pay for all that. I did. I paid for my time and all that. But even, and I'll tell you something too, even when I was saved, the devil came after me again. They'll keep coming. But he can't, I'm a new Christian. I'm not really have built my armor up. I haven't been through a lot of trials and those tribulations yet to build up my armor yet to be ready for Satan when he came. Well, he came for me again. He did. He tried to bring on depression. And in that depression, he tried to tell me that the Lord, now mind you, I just came out of a serious charge. I got baptized. I'm with the church. I'm walking with God. And the devil came that quick in there and said, Lord doesn't want you. He don't want you at all. What good are you to him at the end of the day? You committed some horrible crimes, and you think he's going to take you at the end of the day? He doesn't want nothing to do with you. You might as well kill yourself. And thoughts started popping back up in my head. And I started feeling depressed. And I started feeling like, he's right. Why can the Lord ever take anything like me at the end of the day? How could he love somebody like me that went on and did all this stuff at the end of the day? How could he possibly, and not realizing he did love me? And if he did love me, I wouldn't have gotten out of that situation. I'd still be trapped in that place. I could have died in there. Anything could have happened in that place. I could have died out in the streets. Anything could have happened to me. But I didn't see that. The devil had my mind so clouded at the time. The Lord directed me. Right then, the Lord cleared it up. Directed me to a part in the Bible I started to read about Paul. Saul, Paul, in the Bible. The person went out and committed and murdered Christians. Rounded them up, threw them in prison, murdered them. And God turned around and made him a saint, a disciple that was with Jesus. Now the Lord said to me, if I can save him, I can save you. And I popped out, pleaded it in the blood of Jesus, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And I rebuked the devil, and he left. And that fast, he tried to come in. That's why those trials and tribulations, if you're going through bad things in life, that is the Lord testing you, making your armor stronger for the devil. What these guys put me through made me a stronger Christian. Because it made me that I was tested, that I can never go back to that person I used to be, ever again. No one can cause me to trigger and become that person I was many years ago. That when I get angry and somebody attacks me, you know what I do? I get down on my knees and give it to God. They send something here, I put it in the book, give it to God. That's the Lord tells me to do. Put it in the book. It's taken care of. Get on your knees, you pray to me, it's taken care of. The strongest warrior fights on his knees. He's the one that gets on his knees and prays to the Lord. That's why I said, don't get involved in that. Don't get involved in the arguments. Don't get involved in none of that stuff. Stay clear of it. I got to catch myself sometimes. I'll be out there walking, doing daily work. Somebody say something like, oh, I messed up. Oh, sorry, Lord, I messed up. But I go back and I rewrite and I fix it. I go back and say, hey, look, I shouldn't have said what I said. I apologize, At the end of the day, we all got to live on this planet together. I'm trying to be closer to God. I'm trying to be a better Christian at the end of the day. Now, if that person still wants to argue and carry or whatever, I just walk away from it. That's it. If he does touch me at the end of the day, I try to avoid it. Because I don't have to hurt somebody to touch it at the end of the day. I can basically avoid somebody by basically putting submission moves or pins or whatever at the end of the day. Something's going to cause as less damage as possible. If a person's trying to harm, I got to defend myself. So if a person does attack me, I am trained. So at the end of the day, I can basically restrain a person without hurting them. But my Lord protects me, so I don't have to worry about that. So never had an incident ever. Never had to worry about it ever. Nope. Lord protects me on that. The devil can get mad at that and want to start something. He might want to attack me. You gotta see it for what it is. You know, when you see people up there getting carried on and acting up and all that stuff, that's the devil. Right through him. That's the devil. When you realize what you're looking at, what you're seeing, when you know what your enemy really, really looks like at the end of the day, you really know what they look like, yeah, it gives you a better option of being able to fight against them. That's an interesting thunderstorm. That's a weird thought. There's no possibility to think into it. What if there were thunderclouds in the ocean, deep in the ocean? Is that possible? Is there thunder in the ocean? Is there lightning in the ocean? No, see, there we go. See, this is the kind of stuff that I can never be bored because it's the crazy stuff that pops up in my head. Is there lightning in the ocean? Lightning doesn't strike the ocean as much as the land, but when it does, it spreads over the water, which acts as a conductor. It can hit boats. Oh, shoot, that's interesting to know right there. That's something I didn't know. So basically, when lightning strikes water, it actually acts as a conductor. It can strike boats. Well, that's one thing you don't want to be in a lightning storm like that. Might be boats made out of plastic, all plastic. Can hit boats. They're nearby. Electrocute fish. But see, you don't know what's how deep in the ocean. You really don't know what goes on down there because you've never been down there before. That's the thing about the curiosity of how deep the ocean is. Can lightning be under the ocean? Yes, lightning can strike the ocean. It can strike the ocean. That's always a charge. Let's see how far does the charge go down? Very hard for the people brains in here. If lightning strikes the ocean, how many meters does it hit? 100 meters. See, now it's another thing to think about building a city under the ocean. Because if lightning strikes the ocean, you're talking about electrical current that can travel 100 meters. You can get struck with this thing. Struck with lightning. So that's interesting right there. Because you're going to have lightning storms. Depending on the lightning, the power closer to hitting. I mean, you can't run anything for risk at the end of the day. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I got to bring it to the farm station. What if lightning hits the ocean? That's 100 meters. But that's 100 meters. But that you still got those weird events that something goes down even farther than that. That's interesting. I was going to use this vantage point to charge a battery too. So wait a minute. So if you build a power station that's underwater that has lightning rods that come up halfway out of the water where lightning can strike it, charge, oh man, that'd be an interesting idea of charging something using electrical current that would travel through the lightning rods that would draw and hit that water. That water is nothing but current. That current can be used to actually charge batteries. Oh. Can lightning and water charge a battery? No. Lightning in the water cannot charge a battery. Burst. Yeah, but it carries. How does it not do this? If you're talking about water carries a current. Now, for the power supplying water, it conducts electricity. My body's going to basically catch that current. Yeah. Oh, wait, you'd have to do something with negative and positive. Wait, hold on. Lightning, is it negative or positive electricity? So it can be either. It can be both negative and positive. And you need a converter, power converter, to convert it to DC or AC. Yeah, that's the same thing that William Penn did. He took a copper wire and he hooked it to a kite. So electricity hit the kite. It traveled on the copper wire that struck the key. It's the same thing. You learn how to channel energy, channel electricity. So how can you not do it out of an ocean? Water acts like a conductor. Oh, that would be pretty crazy, though. If water acts like a conductor, electricity travels through water. Can you imagine having pipes that are plastic, that actually hold water, that actually conduct electricity through them, that can power units? Because water acts as a conductor. So if there's electricity in water, electricity basically travels through water. But if you had pipes that were plastic, but you'd have to make them of plastic that couldn't burn, electricity couldn't affect them. But anyway, because you don't want to make them metal, because then if you touch the pipes, you get electrocuted. Unless they were metal and they were covered in rubber, that'd be a different story, because rubber doesn't basically conduct electricity. But that'd be cool if they were made out of water. There was water traveling through them. That's power that's conducted through water. That's actually electricity. That's actually power itself. Unlike having copper wires that travel with electricity, you would have electricity, raw electricity, travel through water pipes. I'm not going to look this up for a minute. My brain's in a different direction right now. Let's see. Electricity can be conducted through water. Yes, electricity can be conducted through water. It carries electricity. What if the cables contain water? Could they carry electricity? Yes, water especially is can carry electricity. All right, let me see. Electricity cannot travel through rubber. Yes, that's correct. Rubber is a good insulation, meaning it doesn't allow electricity to flow through. Oh, that would be freaking sick. So if you're running a city in the ocean, it has to have some way to power it. Now you can do certain ways. You can do hydroelectric energy, which means you have all that water around you that can open up a flood system that the water can drop in, hit a turbine that the spin pushes the water back out, can charge the city. That's another way. That's an endless flow of water because you're definitely in the ocean. But if you're going to be running it off electricity, off the source of electricity, that would be easy to do because then you would have to have these pipes. The pipes would actually, with cables, the cables would run water. And the water would have some kind of conductor system on the end of that will plug into something because it would carry a charge. Definitely need a transformer because you definitely have to be able to basically change and control the voltage that's going through because you can cause an overload to go through. But imagine if it's up on the top and lightning strikes these rods. That water in that field is actually electrified, which means water carries as a conductor. Each one of those pipes can actually carry electricity right through it, which can go through a system that allows to be able to transformer will control how much wattage comes out to hit the item without it get burning out. But just think about the cable system itself that can literally travel. It's like a pipe full of water. Electricity's traveling through it. But so to keep the person from being electrocuted, it's actually coated in rubber because electricity can't travel the rubber. It's kind of like having a wire system that's made out of a pipe that has water constantly flowing through it, but there's electricity in with the water that's flowing. It can be used as a source of energy. The lightning strikes the water, it hits those little tubes. Those tubes carry electricity that runs through that. Those little tubes, it's kind of hard to explain this, but it travels through the tubes. The conductors are actually giant wires that have water in them, and the waters carry electricity. That is freaking insane. That'd be a cool thing to do. Of course, you would die in the process. You definitely were going to get jacked up in this, but hey, that would be interesting. Because you're literally using the ocean as power, using it in two different ways. But you have to have something to conduct electricity there from out of the sky. So these rods would basically, yes, they get struck. They're in the way they get struck. And you have a field area where basically, well, you can rubber that area right out. So basically, at the end of the day, that electricity would contain one area so it doesn't disperse in different directions. You would have some kind of like tank unit there. Like a wall, a dam, where you would have a wall. And that would be filled with water. You have a conductor system there, and that wall around it's connected by rubber, so electricity doesn't shoot out in different directions and kill anything around it. When that electricity hits those conductors, they're basically going to charge that water. And when that water is being charged, those pipes that are connected to each one of those areas is going to have water shooting through them, which is also going to carry electricity current. And on the other end of that, you can have some kind of system set up where it's plugged into some kind of generator system that basically has a power converter that actually allows so much power to go through to keep the generator from basically overloading. Therefore, you have unlimited power. It's weird. My brain functions like that. I literally got all that just from that just a few minutes ago. You had a mechanical mind, which is weird because I never had a thing for this kind of stuff. God had implanted all this stuff into my head. That's interesting. I mean, heck, if you're going to hit what's struck with 100, it's going to travel to 100 meters. You might as well use it for something. That's interesting. I should have known rubber was the best insulation because people wear rubber boots and all this stuff and you're walking around, you know, you get electrocuted and stuff like that, you get grounded and all that stuff like that. But yeah, it's interesting. Huh. What is the wrong? Okay, it has to be something crazy in that. Hold on for a minute. Let's see. What can't lava melt through? Lava could be hot. Won't melt everything. Material gets high. Points like steel for cleanup. Even diamonds are resistant. That's an expensive wall made out of diamonds. Steel and nickelback iron. Steel and nickelback. Steel, nickel, and iron. Steel, nickel, and iron. Hot metal produces energy. Yes, hot metal can produce energy. Oh yeah, it does produce energy. Because they got those potbelly ovens that they put these fans on top of it, and it's generated by heat. So that heat generates those fans. Lava can be used as a source of energy. Let me see. How far does an earthquake crack the Earth's crust? Jeez, 500 miles.
500 miles. 500 miles. Let's see. How deep does an earthquake crack the Earth's crust? An earthquake generally occurs within about 30 miles thick. That's a bit down. 30 miles. It doesn't run in 500 miles across typically. The deepest earthquake occurred up to 500 miles beneath the surface. Gee, was Louise. That's interesting. But my brain's somewhere else right now. I'm thinking about energy. I got to think for energy. I'm basically trying to figure out how to basically get natural resources out of everyday things. Let's see. Is there an air conditioner powerful enough to cool lava? No air conditioner. No. All right. Is there a freezing source cold enough to freeze lava? No, there is no freezing source material cold enough to cool lava. Well, that's interesting. We're not even that cold. What is the temperature that's needed to cool lava? What is the temperature that's needed to cool lava? So you would need 290 degrees Fahrenheit to be able to cool lava. All right, people, I gotta go. My brain just went somewhere else. I'm sitting there studying some about lava. Got some crazy idea at the end of the day. That would be interesting. You can't get heat. You can get, well, actually, you can get power from heat. That's interesting. All right, gotta go. Thank you for your time and God bless.